Hello, everyone. How's it going? Oh, sorry. I was going to save that for a little later. Fishing in Ashara today. Hope everyone's doing well. Happy weekend to those who struggle through the week. Shout outs to Sonic, who I know works in shipping. And it's gonna be a busy winter, I'm sure. Yesterday I actually took Rexana to Nax, if you can not Nax, sorry. To BWL. I actually didn't have my normal tabletops on Friday, so I actually was able to make it to a BWL. I have a new poorly advised concept for a build for her that I've been using that I can't wait to share. I do have some news about Vrograg's Fishslayer title being handed off to someone else. And what else did I have? Also, for those that don't know, I do have the receipts of Blizzard Legal trying to get my actual name so that they can probably depose me later. More on that later, but for now we're just fishing in Ashara in the new expansion area, which I've told the team. I've definitely told them. I don't know if they can't change it easily or if it's like a client-side fix, but the fishing's good. You can get double proc rate catches on stone scale. Grilled squid, I think, might even qualify. I don't think I've seen a double proc on them. Other valuable fish. So come on by while the fish are biting. Hello to, I think it was just Sonic who chatted so far. That's fine. You know what? I'm down for a nice lazy fishing stream. Well, yes, Sonic. It's busy now, but it's going to get worse later, I'm sure. There's the UI. Yeah, I imagine it's gonna get. I don't know. Like, I remember for a time, it was all like, how much is done in retail stores versus how much is done on online shopping, and then eventually, like, online just kind of blasted ahead. But I wonder now if, like, because of the economy, if it might get better or somehow worse. I don't know how that works. But yeah, I hope you're busy now. Hey, you know what? Clicking into stream still engagement, Sonic. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. This poorly advised channel. I only say poorly advised now that now that Blizzard's come knocking, they want my name. Oh no. And it was fun while it's fun while it lasted. I don't know if they would actually compel me to stop like making content. It would be an interesting case if they did. Like, I think they could be within their legal rights to do so, but what am I going to do about it? I'm just a news orc. This mic is sticking out way too much. Oh, I should be sitting. Sonic, if I can get that, if I can get, like, a bunch of lawyers being like, hello, this is, like, April 50, this is April 5th at, 1500 hours, I'm on a Zoom call with, a man purportedly Vrograg Fishslayer. Could you please state your full name for the record? I'd be like, yeah, it's Vrograg Fishslayer. Oh, my real name. Oh, that. I mean, the part of me that wants to watch the world burn is the same type of person that would not get a lawyer just so I can say whatever I want without someone who I've paid to tell me to shut up. That's expensive, man. You pay a lawyer to tell you to not say things. But I love saying things. Just, could you imagine, like, if during a deposition I end every single, like, legally binding and sworn statement with, like, you know, I could just say anything, and every sentence ends with, also Blizzard sucks. I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, yeah, I was just saying, like, what was I doing on, you know, in May of 2023, you know, just telling you what I was doing. Blizzard sucks. You keep ending your statements with Blizzard sucks. Yeah, it's sorry, it's a bit of a tick I have ever since Blizzard sucks. Blizzard sucks. Couldn't imagine. So that's why when and if they nuke my channel, I'll be like, well, I saw that one coming. I'd like to think of myself more as more of a graffiti artist. I've done nothing but stain the internet with nonsensical content about a hyper niche community. But I've had a good time. Let me check something. Oh, no, it is working. This is a first, too, where I'm talking more to Twitch chat than I am to YouTube chat. I think you know what, the 5 people that are watching from YouTube, I know 4 of you are from Blizzard Legal. You're watching. You're probably giggling, too. You're like, well, we got him now. Yeah, you got me now. Enjoy getting blood from a rock, guys. Also, it's going to be really hilarious when you find out I'm not running Turtle WoW. Also, I'm running Kara 40 today. I haven't run Kara 40 since, like, spring. Blackwing Guard didn't have the numbers initially to start running Kara 40 when it was new. And then we tried teaming up with another guild. And that partnership didn't work out very well. So I've just been like, meh, oh well. I mean, Kara 40 is still going to be there. And then we've been slowly rebuilding the team, and we're in a position where we can actually try doing it, seeing if we get the numbers and all the gear and consumables required. I wouldn't say I'm thrilled, because sometimes I like not doing Kara 40. It can be pretty sweaty, but also, I mean, I'm expecting to have a little bit of fun. I just think that kind of fun's going to be me dying a whole bunch. Necrit. Very wise words. Very wise. In fact, I can't think of anyone else who could say it better. I mean, if we're being honest, Blizzard didn't always suck. They just turned on the suction at some point and then didn't stop. They could turn the switch off. They know how. I just don't think they have the... Given corporate acquisitions and mergers and all that, I don't think they have access to the button anymore. I almost feel bad. But you know what? It's the consequences of selling out. Is that you go after smaller communities that try taking a dime off of your $3,000, and you're like, whoa, hold on a second, that dime's ours. Off of this desiccating corpse of an IP. Oh, hold on a second, we want all of that. We want all of that, that's all ours. Okay, all right. Go off, King. You guys do know I don't live in Russia, right? Might give you a tip. I'm not John Torta. But as far as I understand, I mean, they're just trying to... They're essentially the skit from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where Charlie Day has all the names on the corkboard, but he hasn't attached them together yet with red yarn. And John Blizzard needs me to give him yarn to make all the connections. It's going to be a crazy time, guys, because I'm going to suddenly have the craziest case of, like, memory loss. Who's Torta? Ooh, I don't remember. In truth, I actually don't know. But, like... like, I don't know, like, legal names and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Torta? That's a woman. Yep. All right, so you have however many billion people in the world. All right, you can start there. But I gave you a tip. 50% of them aren't Torta. More or less. It's true. It's true, Necrid. They did lose their mojo a long time ago. It's only sad because, you know, it's hard to see someone or something fall from such great heights. Sonic. Yeah, guys, Microsoft is a struggling company. I mean, you hear about all the recent releases from Valve. They came out with their little Gabe Cube and a new VR headset and a new controller. Because unlike most publicly traded companies, their value isn't in the imaginary stock that says they're supposed to be earning X amount of dollars that can be inflated. Valve is a private corporation, which, by the way, morally, I mean, not that much better, but the money they have is the money they actually have on hand. So when they invest in something, they just have that money. Yes, Bob, they do have a name. I mean, I'm sure. The funny thing too is that, you know, I've met some people from the Turtle team. We didn't exchange real names. We exchanged our online handles. No one knows my real name. They know Vrograg. They called me Vrograg. So, like, do you know who John Turtle is? I'm like, I know John Turtle, but I don't know their name. It's gonna be a fun deposition. Yeah, I mean, Bob, I mean, they can... part of the thing, Bob, is that, like, I think everyone, more or less to some extent, who plays Turtle has some sort of fondness for earlier Blizzard products and games. Tweeting at them isn't like an A to B sort of thing. Like, the people that run Blizzard PR are, I almost guarantee you, 100% more lighthearted and, like, didn't take it personally. I think really what happened is the development of and supporting of Unreal Azeroth probably scared Blizzard. Legal. And the whoa, hold on, wait a second. I think that's really the step that went a bit too far. I don't think it was tweeting at them or replying to them. By the way, like, I mean, I've seen those interactions. Like, 99% of them are like lighthearted or supportive or like good stuff. It's not like you had, you know, Acalix with control of the Twitter account going like, Blizzard sucks, I hope they burn in hell. It's mostly like, oh, that's cool. Or, you know, like, it just like memeing. So, like, I don't think that's what did them in. You know, Bob, I mean, you're right to say I gave Blizzard about $3,000 over the years. I should be able to play a private server if I want. But here's the funny thing. End user license agreement says no. they just flat out say nope, that's not true. So you're right. That's why I think this is sort of like a more compelling case, is that like it's hard, by the rules of the game, right? Of intellectual property. Yeah. Yep. That is an infringement of intellectual property rights, and yep, they do have a due diligence case to protect their intellectual property. But like, no one in their right mind believes that Turtle is going to supplant Blizzard or is like irrevocably changing their intellectual property, or is like threatening to disrupt everything. But, so, your take is pretty reasonable, but it's reasonable to you, but the people that are money hungry, well. And yeah, Necrid, Steam, Valve, they are doing it right, which is crazy because like I don't really like a reality where I find myself cheering for any one particular corporate entity over another. I will just say that, Steam, Valve, and Gabe and them, they're finding a way to be less abusive, which somehow, by comparison, makes us like, oh, well, that's cool. You treat your customers like customers. It's crazy. And somehow they become the darlings of the industry. Wow. It's almost like they put out a pretty easily copy template that they didn't copyright. Anyone can use it. ArenaNet is pretty solid people. I don't know. Who is that? ArenaNet. I mean, by and large, I generally tend... I mean, I know Turtle is sort of the glaring example, but like when left to my own devices, I generally don't like online gaming that much. I think Turtle might have turned my opinion around about that, but I generally don't seek it out. Oh, Guild Wars, right. Yeah, I mean, I've heard great things about Guild Wars and many of their examples of how they run things. Wow, it's not crazy. And to think all of this, like, I think perhaps the most insulting part is that Blizzard Corporate didn't think that going back to earlier versions of their game was profitable or a good idea. And they were dragging their feet and didn't want to do it. And then when they did it, then they're like, well, hold on a second. Wow. We made some serious money here. How can we snuff out the thing that inspired us? Is essentially what they're saying. Oh, that's cool to hear. True story, I think Guild Wars 1 was my first ever MMO. I didn't quite... I mean, I think I remember enjoying it, but it didn't quite pop for something. I don't remember much about it, but I think there was something like after you are done playing a certain amount of the game, there's some kind of like cataclysm that happens, and then there's like a second part of the game. I remember that, and you could dye your gear. That should have told me back then that I was a T-Mog enthusiast without knowing it yet. And dyes were like a big deal. You're like, oh, I got a sword. I can dye it purple now. And the only other real MMO I played for any amount of time was Star Wars: The Old Republic, which I was fine with paying a subscription fee, and then they moved to a free-to-play model. And then I'm like, man. And then I kind of poofed out of there. Murog was much more of the Star Wars fan, though. So, and she had played all the Old Republic games as well. So, a lot of that stuff mattered a lot more to her. So I'm like, oh, cool. Who's this Revan guy? He seems pretty cool. What's his deal? What's up with jewel crafting? I'm finally checking it out, and man, it makes a lot of stuff that makes no sense under jewel crafting. I mean, Bob, the template for making stuff that has a vanilla vibe means X amount of things will make no sense. Why you would design for that is literally a testament to the designer's desire for things to feel like vanilla. I think that's... Also, there might be just things in there that, yeah, they don't make sense because there's something we don't know about the game, or could be a mistake, or for something that was originally designed and then thrown away, but they kept it in jewel crafting. There's plenty of examples. I do see there's like a lot of wrist slots. I saw those that like have stats for melee, but they're cloth. So I'm like, huh? I did see that and think, but to myself, if I'm being honest, you don't get a lot of armor from your wrist slots, so, you know, might as well. I've checked it out myself a little bit with an alt I've been slowly working on, and I have come across some of those. Hello, Drazon, how's it going? Just chilling. I'm just fishing in Ashara. We got a pretty good... I should open up some of these clams. Pretty much these are all the fish I caught so far. Alright, hold on. Let's open up these bad boys. Come on, gold pearl, make me rich. Black pearl. Oh, a lock chest. Nope, nothing too fancy here. I have got 3 Essence of Water. There was a time when that was quite valuable and was a good catch, but... Oh, it's right. These deep sea lobsters are the ones that drop off of the crab boss. And I've had them in my bag, and I keep thinking they're dark claw lobsters. When I do my next round of icon differentiation changes, I want to make these blue or something like it, just because I have bumped into this issue. It comes up nowhere else, and these deep sea lobsters aren't used for anything other than eating. You could just eat them raw. So I'm trying to keep all the fish separate here. Yeah, so far so good. Will there be a race for Carrot 10 on Amber? Pog. It's gonna be a pretty short race if there is one. Carrot, I mean, it's sort of like trying to race Ubers. I guess it feels like there's a little less at stake because it's only a 10-man. So, I mean, maybe, but, like, if there is, good luck to those that are racing, I guess. Bowie, what's up? How's it going? We're just fishing. We're just fishing here in Ashara, having a good time. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Everyone Mandalore says hello. He's feeling a lot better. For those that caught my last stream, Mandalore has been under the weather a little bit. He had an anal gland rupture, So he was very sick. He had to go to the vet and get some quick surgery and some antibiotics. He's just excited because now he can walk around without the cone on, the cone of shame. Thank you, Bowie. I hope they do too. They've been all right so far. I mean, 16 stone scale, 3 essence of water. I wonder how much essence of water actually is going for. Guys, we're blessed. We have a Mandalore in the background. Are you gonna sit and watch stream from a sack of papers I left in the background? Yeah, he is. It's a blessed stream, guys. I'm excited that Mandalore is doing all right. Mandalore is, I think, roughly like 12 years old. So, oh, okay, he's just doing cat stuff. So yeah, he's 12. So, anytime a cat gets sick, and also he has it's called a feline immune virus. It's sort of like HIV, but for cats. So whenever he gets sick, I'm like, oh, I hope this isn't it. This, Murag would be very sad. I would be sad too, but Murag would be besides herself. She loves that cat. But he's bounced back. He's back to being his normal butthead self. Also, I missed this. Bob said they should have split it into woodworking. I feel like a lot of people have asked for woodworking. I think it's not the worst idea I've heard of. I would be curious like how that could fit in its entirety into a WoW system. I think there's more in place in the game for things like scroll writing. But, when you think about professions, right? There are clear winners and losers. Like, alchemy is just super strong. In fact, let me demonstrate some of its strength right now. Oh, what's that? Did I pick up some core of earth? Yes, I don't mind. I think I will make 3 elemental earth. Once every 10 minutes. Blacksmiths are seething. What can they do? Make belt buckles? That's essentially worse enchanting, because you can only do 1 slot. Herbalism's a big winner, mining's big, engineering's big. The other ones are supportive, but they're not as by the numbers as strong. They all have little spots they can sit in, right? Jewel crafting sits nicely in that it can enchant necklaces and rings. And there's some bind on equipped gear I think you can make. Which doesn't make it crazy strong, it makes it good. When I think of something like enchanting's just like a money hole. Like, if I'm being honest, you have to do so much to get enchants, and you're either gonna farm for them forever and not get it, or buy them on the auction house if you can, and then you still have to do certain grinds for rep, certain grinds on raids until you get the special drop you've been waiting for. All of this to really never make any money off of it. Now again, it's very supportive. People are looking for enchants, so most raid teams need a couple enchanters in their raid team. But it's not nearly in as high demand as other professions. So I guess my question more, Bob, about woodworking is where would it fit? Where would it fit in the world? Bows, arrows, staves, scrolls, and maybe gauze that removes bleeds. I think so. That should be first aid, right? Gauze that removes bleed. I think. But bows, arrows, and staves. Jewel crafting did a little bit of staves. And scrolls doesn't really sound like woodworking. I mean, maybe there are enough things in the game that require paper that maybe I could see that. But if it's just bows and staves, it's probably like some of the least used items in game. Like outside of bows and arrows, maybe. I think it'd be cool to be able to craft your own arrows. Careful, Bowie. Don't give too many ideas out. You don't want to get an email from Blizzard Legal asking for your name. Novatrix says Murag or Emrag. I'm assuming you're trying to say Murag. Murag's alright. She just got back from the gym, actually. She getting her workout on. Because I have great genetics and don't have to work out much to keep my girlish form. Yeah. And honestly, what I would like more is maybe bake that into enchanting somehow. Enchanting needs it, man. Enchanting needs something. My big idea for professions was that enchanting should have cosmetic particle effects it can put on stuff. So if you have a weapon, right, if you're melee, you're either going to have agility or you're going to have Crusader on it. If you're a caster, you're going to have spell power on it. And those are kind of fixed in place particle effects. Some of them don't look good with certain items. Some of them look better with it. If you're an enchanter, it would be really cool if you could have a way to cosmetically change that particle effect. Like, the enchant would still exist. So you could have, like, essentially, let's say you have the Crusader enchant, right? And that has a certain, like, glow to it on whatever item you put it on. But you could have, like, Crusader green or Crusader black. It's, again, same effect. It just looks a little different. I think, given how much people like T-Mog, that could actually expand a little bit on enchanting. And you know what, Bob? They need to fix the fact that shamans can't use polearms. That's an injustice. I did quite vocally state the case that a shaman should be able to use polearms. And that was back during class council when they had people from the community talk about things. They did not bite on that one. But rogues got axes, so that's huge. Oh, they did do that in retail. Interesting. I really wouldn't know. My WoW retail knowledge kind of ends at Wrath of the Lich King. As far as like what I played. Oh, hey, Atheliana's in the background. What's up? Trying to triangulate where I am. You're so close. Not many people know that this spot exists, by the way. Just for your information. If you'd like to get where I am, you need to go to like maybe 4018 on the map, and you'll see like a walkway that kind of gets you up to the top of the ridge here. And there's lots of fishing pools. There's actually ones further down the mountain you can get to as well. They have the same fishing table. And if we look at hold on, where is it? Maybe I can't do this when I'm fishing. But it looks like I'm getting 20% spotted yellowtail, so that's kind of junk. Dark claw lobster is vaguely useful. 17% stone scale eel. That's pretty good. Bang for your fishing buck. And you can be like other people and do target fishing and try to get the pools. Completely valid. But I like chilling. Hello, right said Fred. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Oh, and I think now I'll talk about it a little bit. So, people that have been watching the stream for a while know that because I've done all the news work I've done, the management at various points in the last year or so, they actually they gave me this title, this custom title, the News Anchor Orc, because of all the news work I've done for the community, right? And they gave me another one as well, called Fishslayer. You know, because my character's name is Vrograg Fishslayer. And if you've been watching streams for a while, you know that we have a bit of a character, a bit of a VIP by the name of Rodfather, who's this amazing person within the community. They, in the past, they played with and raided with Hard Chores, who's a hardcore raiding community. And tragically and unfortunately, at some point, Rodfather had a stroke and lost the ability to use like one half of his torso. For anyone who plays WoW, kind of means you can't do everything you might want to do in the game. It's kind of a keyboard and mouse game. But Rodfather proved that he had an amazing and resilient strength of character, and he still wanted to participate with his community, and just became an expert fisher. You can fish with one hand. I do it all the time. I'm doing it right now. And I actually bumped into him in the wild, I think, while I was farming turtle scales over in Teneris for, I think it was for Rexana at the time. I just chatted with the guy. Super nice, super friendly. And, you know, I learned about his story, and he's a really cool guy. You know, not to bring the vibes down too much, but his health isn't the best. But I caught wind of some great feats of fishing that he's done. Hard Chores had little fishing derbies, because turns out if you do hardcore fishing, you always got to make sure you have a flask of petrification on hand in case things go sideways, so you don't lose your fully raid geared mortal character. And I saw the results from that, and he brought like 3,000 stone scale eel, caught all by hand. And I'm like, damn, this guy's a fishing legend. So I think around that time, or maybe a little bit after, is like when someone from management like gave me a title that said Fishslayer. And I already have like a cool custom title, and I was really gracious. I'm like, thank you. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, man, I feel like Rodfather should have that title. And so, you know, I talked to some people, and basically the deal we struck was that, yeah, you can transfer it to Rodfather, but that means you can't have it anymore. And I'm like, that's fine. So, it was a bit technical, because in order to have that happen, I needed like a high level GM in order to take it off of Vrograg. And I didn't know this at the time, but I think both characters needed to be online. But I finally got through to someone who was like a high enough level GM that they were able to essentially log onto a character through like their higher level GM commands, and then give that character the title. So let me see if I have it here. Is it this one or is it this one? So I made this little announcement when I had photographic proof of the transfer being made. So as you can see, you'll see the tag GM. That's because a GM had to force this through. But it says Rodfather Fishslayer, and he is in the Save the Eels project. If you want to learn more about that, go chat up with Rodfather. He wants eels for everyone. Rodfather can speak to the eels. And now, guys, the title Fishslayer is in its rightful hands, in a person who has proven a strength and resilience that I practically imploded when I got an email saying Blizzard's looking for my real name. This guy's gone through way tougher stuff and proved to me what it is to be a great member of a community, how to remain positive even when really tough circumstances are thrown your way. If anyone deserves a Fishslayer title, it's him. So, I haven't heard back from Rodfather. He might not be having, like... I understand he has good days and bad days, so no rush. But I'm very happy that he finally has the title. It is on a mortal character, too, so Rodfather could die, and the Fishslayer title is no more, which I think would be kind of funny. Oh, yeah, he does. By the way, he actively levels. Again, he has, he got dealt a pretty tough hand with having some difficulties playing the game now, and he still levels characters. I know he did the one where you have to level completely smashed. The, what is that? What is that one called? Brewmaster, thank you. Murug's sitting nearby. Also, Murug, I don't know if you know, but Mandalore came by and was cheesing for the camera. Really? He jumped up on the table back there and just started meowing. Yeah, I think he's feeling himself again. Yep. Oh yeah, Bowie. Sorry, I should probably show receipts on this. Yeah, no, Blizzard is looking. Well, Blizzard is looking for me. So this email was sent to the YouTube account that I'd done all the Vrograg Fishslayer stuff on. There it is. So I have, for anyone, I put it right on here. Blizz is asking Google for my identity. I am not getting added to a lawsuit. They essentially want to depose me to find out what I know, which is fine. It means that I'm not legally or financially responsible for anything TurtleWow does. But yes, for real, they are looking for me. And I have spoken to some legal people about this, and I will be acting accordingly. Don't worry, guys. I know most of you are strapped for cash, so I'm not gonna start a legal GoFundMe. Can you imagine? And Bowie says, hope you tell them to eat a bag of shit. Ooh, that's a good one. I'll add that. Yeah, pretty much. Like, they didn't take the hint. Like, guys, maybe people don't want to play your game because you're not good at running this. And other people are better at doing it. And people just don't want to deal with you. By the way, just caught Knife and Snapper. I know those have been going pretty hot. Sorry, harsh 3K. Oh, so Soap, yes. If I want to tell you right now, by the way, first off, Soap, you're probably a little bit behind the times. So make sure to refresh to catch up on whatever I'm saying. Love you, though. And yes, if a fisher of any propensity or dedication decided to dump 3K stone scale on the auction house, that would influence prices, yes. There's sort of an equilibrium, right? Welcome to Market Watch After Hours. So, there's always going to be people that want to make gold. And there's always going to be people that want to do content that requires consumables, right? So these are the two things we know about players. Now, for every person involved, there's sort of a balancing act that has to be done. Will my time be better served farming the stuff I need for consumables, or will my time be better served getting gold to then buy the consumables? Everyone's metric on how much they value their time, how much time they have available, is different. Now, because of that, there's always going to be some amount of stone scale, right, for instance, on the market. Whether it's just the eels or whether it's the oil, it's needed for Flask of Titans, Flask of Petrification, It's needed for defensive elixirs as well, I believe. So it's always going to remain valuable. So because of that, some people have to go, oh, well, maybe I'll fish it up myself. Or some people go, well, maybe I'll run some dungeons and with that gold, I'll buy it. And that's going to change based on how many other people are willing to fish, either for themselves or for the market, to make that gold. So, so there's an equilibrium, more or less. The higher the price gets, the more people are going to go, oh, wait a minute. I don't want to pay that. I'd just rather go fish it myself. Or what happens is they go, well, I guess I have to farm some more gold. All right. And then the price will change, right? Because people that might say, hey, I could get that. I know how to fish. I can go get that stone scale myself. What ends up happening is they'll get enough for themselves to go, you know what, though? The price is high enough. Maybe I throw a little extra. Maybe I throw a little extra in the auction house and cash in. And that's how the supply on the auction house gets higher, which in turn will drop prices because there are other people that just have a bunch of stone scale. And even though you can buy bags with real money, you have a limit on how many bag slots you can have. So there is a sort of a threshold that, like, an item slot in your bag is like taking up earning value if we broke it down. So if people have too many stone scales, they need to clear out that space. And because of that, the price will go down. And this is the market fluctuation we see. Also, thank you, Rail Kangren. I saw your work. Thank you. If we, well, we'll take a quick moment here. All right, let's look at stone scale eel. Make sure I can actually see my bobber. We have 5 pages worth of auctions. The historical value is just based off when I last scanned. I do it somewhat frequently with Vrograg because, well, believe it or not, I fish a lot with Vrograg. So it looks like roughly they're going for a tiny bit over 1 gold apiece. And if we look at the overall stock supply, by the way, you can do this all in WoW auctions way quicker than what I'm doing. If we look at the amounts, and that's 5 pages worth, we probably have, this is just Northern R2. There's probably upwards of a couple hundred, maybe 300, 400-ish on the auction house. Now, if someone came in with thousands, that would certainly disrupt things. Because people that are putting on the auction house, they want that stuff to sell. There's also deposits on those items as well. Yeah, I feel, Bowie, that's... You say that, but I actually kind of disagree. Because back in the old days, when there were hyper-spawning stone-scale eel pools, the price was way cheaper. And then they changed something, and then the eel pools went back to normal, and then the price spiked. Hold on. Let me see if I can... Okay, you guys see that? Let's go to item daily. We're going to go to stone scale eel. Hey, Murag. Your really cute son is knocking over stuff.
Hey, what are you doing? Oh, he wants to go in the other window. So you closed off the curtains.
Well, yeah. I want to live in darkness.
Bulbasaur on his perch. It's literally for him.
All right. I just find Bulbasaur to be a better cat. Okay, now he can have his perch. All right, sorry. So I just generated that big old chart. Let's see if I can grab that real quick. All right. So, you were saying that you think it's a good price. Now, over here, I mean, I had already been raiding for a year, and prices were around this. I feel differently. I think prices should be around 40 silver. They haven't really dipped below 80 for a long time. Since essentially Halloween of 2023. Stone Scale is one of the ones I have the most market data on because I tracked that one before I broadened my my database. So that just goes to show you things can change. Now, what you should also be aware of, right? You'd be like, oh, well, that's when the population spiked. No. The population spiked right around here, actually. This is when we had, like, queues for Turtle WoW, right here. This is when they changed how it spawns in-game. It's not a terrible price. I think I've gotten used to it. Also, I become reliably wealthy because I enjoy fishing. So that's great, but... Jemsky T says, Vrograg, when Nightmare of Ursal? I don't know. I actually don't. I genuinely don't. I don't have PTR access. I've been talking to the team less because, well, there's like some sort of lawsuit thing that's made it really tough to talk to all of them in one spot. It's kind of hobbled my ability to do news stuff and get in-depth reporting on things. I'm not bitter, you're bitter. How's the population? On Nord, it feels about, I don't know, what is normal? I just did a server it's been sitting around 5,000-ish, which is fine. Downright healthy. I mean, it'll spike sometimes, it'll get lower at other hours. I like how Northern are just kind of found in equilibrium. I love to see that. How do those deposits work? Which deposits? Oh, yeah, okay, so this is something that I continually get wrong, and I get it wrong because they changed it since I started playing Turtle WoW. So in the early days, I don't think there was a deposit. Murag, maybe you know about this?
Auction house?
Yeah.
There was no auction house deposit until maybe a year ago when the pop got pretty high.
Okay.
I don't know what the deposit is, but yeah, there was no auction house deposit.
Yeah. So if I understand, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but the way the deposit works, I believe, is it looks at the vendor value of the item. A percentage of that is added to the auction house when you post an item. If you pull the item off of the auction house early, you will lose that deposit. And I believe, again, I could be getting this wrong, but I think if your item sells, the auction house also gets a cut, and I think it's the deposit. I could have that wrong, but I think...
You don't get your deposit back if the item doesn't sell.
Oh, sorry, you don't get the deposit back if the item doesn't sell. Thank you. That's what it is.
There are some items that don't have deposits.
Yeah. So generally, things that have deposit values, if they do not sell, you lose your deposit value. If it does sell, you don't lose that. So there are some very low risk items, almost exclusively enchanting materials, but also stuff like the Ungoro crystals, for instance, don't have a deposit amount. Those are like no risk. That you're just losing out on bag space if you have a bunch and they're not selling. Sorry, I saw someone, Bowie wrote something. I'd love you to see you do a collab with a mainstream classic WoW streamer. A lot of them are making content with classic WoW and longevity. I think you'd be able to use Nord as a nice... So, Bowie, I want you to know something. I know you're saying that from a place of peace and love, but I want you to know that a lot of classic WoW streamers that are bigger, right, than like me and like have like very good followings and like it's their job, I'm sort of a pariah to them. anyone who only does private server stuff is sort of like a no touch, because they can lose their job. Like, if their career, right, the way they make their bread and butter, the way they pay their taxes is with streaming, no one's going to want to, and not just me, just someone who's like talks openly and positively about private servers. I would say the only one who really broke the mold in that case was Nixium, and even he touched it with a much longer grasp, because, you know, he has like a family and stuff, and that's how he primarily makes money. So I would love it too, but we don't live in a world where open collaboration can work with private server stuff. I think maybe if I talk to someone like who does like news about stuff, someone like a Bellular, maybe I could talk to them, because they could be a bit more circumspect about it and not show private server gameplay. Maybe that would work. But yeah, I think if anything, Turtle WoW did figure out one thing, which is the longevity issue. How to weather the storm of fresh chasers, how to make your economy functional, and how to continually develop something where players are going to come and go periodically. And I think they took an approach that Blizzard's never taken, and I think that's worth discussing and talking about. Yeah. So, and you know what? If there ever comes a time where I need to delete my VODs, it'll be sad, for sure. If I have to delete all my videos about Turtle WoW. But if I'm being honest with you guys, I'd have it no other way. Because this community, this private server community, gave to me a fun little, like, honestly for me, it's like a different way to play the game. A different way to interact. It's almost like a meta guild for me. And it's been so fun. And I feel like if I just deleted all of that, I mean, I would be sad. I would be crushed. But I have backups. It's been chronicled. I would probably later find a way to more surreptitiously upload them somewhere else for posterity and turn all advertisement revenue off, so it would be harder for Blizzard to find them and shut them down. You got it, Rao Kangren. But you also need to maintain and police your population a little bit. You need to, you know, if you have someone in World Chat spamming the N-word, they gotta go. They gotta go. Because you don't, even though you'll have a bunch of people going like, oh, free speech, and getting all upset about that stuff. But you know what? Having a community that isn't like actively hostile towards other people, turns out, is good for a community. It makes it less of an echo chamber, and it makes it more inviting for new people. And yeah, like, listen, moderation can get it wrong sometimes. You know why? Because humans are doing it. And it's so much easier to explain to a human that a human made a mistake than explaining to a human that an algorithm or an automated program got something wrong. Because if anyone remembers, I'm sure it still happens, you know, I think the biggest offenders of this was when we had, if you're playing Classic, if you upset some kind of PvP bracket during ranking, a whole cadre of people would report your account. And if you just get enough reports, you'd automatically get banned. You see what I mean? Like, lazy moderation is worse than no moderation, if I'm being perfectly honest. But human moderation with clear delineated rules and guidelines is the best way to go. It just requires actual people. Turtle was willing to like facilitate that, which is why it's a better community. Truth nukes are flying. Yeah, guys, get in your bunker. Get in your bunker. The truth nukes are flying. Zaru talks positive pretty often, even watches vids sometimes, and he is 7 and 9K Andy. Oh, that's pretty nice. I mean, I could reach out, but thanks for the tip. Sorry, my headset does this thing. It doesn't recognize Turtle WoW as a game, and sometimes it just shuts off because it thinks there's no sound playing, which isn't true either, because the game's clearly still happening. And I'm listening to music like you guys are listening to music in the background. Hold on, let me see something here. Okay, my Turtle WoW audio is on. Bowie, I absolutely can. And I do want you to understand one thing, though, that I'm sort of a different beast than a lot of content creators. And I don't mean that because I'm particularly good. I mean that in that I have a full-time job. And this is a hobby for me. And people that are 7 and 9K Andes more than likely probably have like a management partner, have like advertisement revenue. He might have a job, but it does make sometimes scheduling things tough. I don't know about the industry. Like, I don't know who to reach out to, or, you know, I could reach out to business emails, but I'll give it a shot. I'll ask around about it. Yeah, yep, Bob, exactly. If I take a day off and do a collab, you could be a 500 Andy, which would be nice for all. Yeah. You know, I did, there's a stream, I think it was like a month ago, where I had like was it like a 9-hour stream or something? Because I had the day off. That was fun time. That was a very fun time. Because Blizzard sucks. Yep. Twitch needs more Vrograg? Well, you know, listen. You say that, okay? You say that, but you know what? The thing is, people don't want more Vrograg. What people want is more people that know about Turtle WoW. And the reason I know this is anytime I do something that isn't Turtle WoW, none of y'all show up. I see you. None of you care. You guys don't care about Vrograg. You care about Turtle WoW. Listen, I'm not shaming you, right? Everyone can like what they like, but come on, it's not me. It's not me you guys like. It's my experience and knowledge about Turtle WoW. And if you don't believe me, hold on. Hold on. I'm not done shaming you guys. Now, where can I see the views on this? That doesn't show. All right, here we go. Time to shame you. I released I think, a well-produced video about a game I really liked, Absalom. And apparently I netted -1 subscribers and it had 103 views. You see what I'm saying? Fabula, I appreciate you saying that. But I'm trying not to get it twisted and think that it's me necessarily that you guys like. I think sometimes it's also specifically the content I do. See, Necrid knows. By the way, I genuinely mean this. If you enjoy my perspectives, if you enjoy the writing I do in videos, and if you enjoy the editing I do in videos, the video I released, I think, is some of my better work. I genuinely mean that. I'm not just trying to plug the video. That's all. And I probably spent more time on that video than I did the orientation to Turtle WoW video. Now, that, I mean, obviously that's an unfair comparison, right? Because a bunch of people were looking for a orientation guide to Turtle WoW. That's different, right? We'll agree that's different, but still. Jemsky is promoting their guild, Bananas, over on Telebim. Shoutouts to all my Telebim players and homies. We had a good time a couple weeks ago with that big event. I'm very excited for the big Ironforge siege that's going to happen on Chapter 4. I am very excited for that. I'm going to see if I can cover that. You know, Raukangren, you are right. So, let me ask you this, Raukangren. If I put a Machinima Vrograg in that video, do you think it would have performed differently? Be honest. Yeah, I know. I'm not shaming you guys. I'm just saying, like, it's not necessarily me that people come to watch. You're damn right, Jemsky. Sonny is a gift, and you guys should all respect and appreciate him. I mean, if he's like super toxic in something, that's different, but he doesn't really strike me as the type. So, yeah. Sonny is an absolute Chad person. Just having narrative PvP events to really inject some lifeblood and excitement in Telebim, I love seeing that. Raukangrid, I can literally, I mean, it would take me like maybe an hour, and I could just throw a Vrograg on it and see if it performs differently. Because, I mean, I have like, in my Vegas editing program, I have like a plugin I use where, so my process, for anyone who cares, I have a custom patch that I will put in my game folder, and I go to Nomer because I've changed all the textures in Nomer, specifically that area, into magenta. It's all a flat magenta color. I still have to deal with shaders, that's a different story, but I stand in front of a brightly lit magenta background, and then I do all the machinima with a video capture, and then I cut out all the magenta, and then I just like interpose that over whatever video Vrograg is speaking on. I am speaking on, rather. So it would take me about an hour, I think, to throw that all together. I don't think it would change performance much. Oh, Raukangren, I've looked into that more. I'm not even joking. It's not a... You have to remember that a lot of times, stuff that seems fun to try to integrate and do, when you've been doing content as long as I have, sometimes it just seems like work. And I'm like, oh, I have to learn a new skill to do something that I'm like only mildly interested in. An IRL stream, if I ever do an IRL stream, it's going to be fishing. And it's going to be in Sonic's backyard, I think. But even then, I need to, like, do a bunch of testing. I need to... Because, here's the thing, guys. It might not always come off, because sometimes my streams and my videos are a little scuffed, but I do care about production value to a certain extent. I want you guys to be able to hear. I want you to be able to watch actively or passively and just enjoy things, right? If things are cutting out, quality is bad, it hurts my perfectionist soul in a way that I can't quite quantify for you. But if you're also a perfectionist, you will understand this. And why sometimes incorporating new things that are scary becomes a quite daunting task. Circumstances pushing us into learning new skills are our testing grounds for the growth. Don't you want to grow, Orc Boy Journalist? God damn it, Raukangren. Yes, I do. You know, I do want to learn and grow. So I tried doing a different style video on a different video game, and no one liked it. Yes, I did. Thank you very much. I do want to try do different things and learn new skills. Thank you for noticing. It just seems no one else did. You have to remember too, to a certain point, there's some like behavioral stuff going on, right? People like something that they understand and expect. If I suddenly made a hard pivot and just became a political pundit talking head thing, no one would watch that. Because if I like a creator, specifically a creator for something, and they start doing something else, I'd be like, huh? If you don't believe me, check out Mad Season. He's dealt with the same thing. What is your favorite change or addition added to WoW? To Turtle WoW? Whew. My favorite addition. Could you, Drazen? I like this thought experiment, but I would just ask: do you mean like content or gameplay? And the reason I split those two is because I feel like there's been some gameplay aspects that have been changed. I'm talking about like professions, how classes work, and then there's also more like content, which is like new areas to go in, new items, that kind of thing. So I think that is probably why I'd split the two, because I feel like those are two different things that I would deal with differently. Mad Season is just trying to make a bag, though. Yeah, I'm not trying to make a bag. I'm trying to have a good time. And you guys do make it a little bit easier. I will say that. Maybe try something adjacent to what you were doing. What is adjacent to WoW? Or Turtle WoW? Yeah, try a different private server. You guys know I do work I have a full-time work schedule too, right? Do you know if there's a reward for exhaustion? Like I said, it's one of the challenges. I went with one. My needs chamois. New chamois. Okay. Exhaustion? No, I think it's more challenge. I think technically you learn weapon skills quicker. I think that's the reward for it, if I'm remembering that right. Raukangren says, Warcraft 2 on hard difficulty when? Okay, first off, do not oversell my skills. Please. Secondly, I do have a completely legitimately obtained version of Warcraft 2. I could throw that on. It has been so long since I've played an RTS, though. You guys would be screaming at me. But I do have it. And Warcraft 2 is so tiny, I mean... Do you know how many viruses you can fit in that bad boy? So, yeah, I could do that. But here's the thing. If I play Warcraft 2, I'm going to be spazzing out, guys. I'm going to be asking you guys questions. I'm going to be stressed. So we're not doing hard difficulty if I ever do it. I have flirted with the idea. I think when I was thinking about it, like a bunch of stuff happened all at once and I never got around to it. But I still like somewhere in a hard drive, I have that. A member of the community heard me mention it and then just sent me a download link to show me how to perfectly legitimately get it. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong. Does Blizzard have like a retail version of Warcraft 2 out or available? Because I think the version that I was sent is definitely the old version. the true version. Was hoping for a tabard with a guy sleeping on it. No, I think exhaustion specifically, because there are people that don't. Actually, it's kind of appealing to me because I know that when I level up a character and I see a tent out, I'm like, but I also know that it sometimes can speed up things a little too quickly. So if I knew that about myself, I would get the exhaustion glyph just to avoid that relationship with tents. They have other, I don't, do they still have it, the glyph of restraint for, to make it so you can't gamble? That's a really cool one. I'm just happy they have something like that. They run the remastered AI upscaled slop. Oh, listen, I know a thing or two about AI slop, okay? All right, boys? All this fine music you've been listening to, this is the finest in AI slop music you can get. Oh, speaking of AI slop, I have a video I want to show you guys. I am not a React streamer, but I saw something that made me chortle so loudly. I'm like, I gotta show this on stream. Hold on. I found this on Reddit. I was showing it at the very beginning of stream. Is it this one? Yes. Okay. I don't think I have sound for it enabled. But here, you'll see. Oh no, I clicked away and it went away. Dang it. Come back. If there is an acceptable use of AI, it's this. I mean, the sound isn't bad either. It's just I don't know if like maybe they'd use the sound as a way to tag to see if you've like. I don't know how the TikTok space works. I've kept my hands off that entire world, but I just love it. AI just made a cat with a bunch of instruments. You just the owner keeps running out and be like, "Stop playing instruments." Also, if you pay close attention, I'm gonna draw this. If you're ever, how do you know this is AI, Vrograg? Pay close attention. Just like here, look at the background. Look at the railings. Every time there's a new scene, it's like there's a new porch. And I really enjoyed looking at all the different porches. Oh, there's chairs over there and no way out. Oh, now there's a stairway down and a rocking chair with a pumpkin. Also. Oh, okay. Now there's a new stairway down, a rocking chair and an orange pumpkin with a doormat. That's new. Wait for the next one. Okay, different doormat. Doesn't look like there's a stairway down. No pumpkins and a new plant. In this one, we have multiple rocking chairs, a pumpkin, a new doormat. Sorry, this gave me so many giggles you don't even know. No, she didn't kick the cat. I think in that particular one, when she opened the door hit the cat. Don't worry, guys. It's AI. It's not real. See, that I think is an acceptable use of AI. I don't know why it doesn't bother me as much. But when I see probably one of the more calling it offensive is kind of weird, but the one that's probably bothered me more is when sometimes I like to listen to people talk about certain comic book runs or storylines, because I'm not I don't actively collect. I don't have a lot of comic books laying around, but I like seeing the kind of stories people are coming up with and stuff like that. And there's just been a huge glut of AI slop channels that will, like, either they usually take real artwork from the comic books and they just have an AI voiceover and an AI script just explain what the whole story's about. And the thing is that nowadays the narration software is getting good enough where I can't tell right away. So that one bothers me. I don't know why, but those type have bothered me the most. Judging Covers says they use AI to template complicated data into reports for computer blueprints. Saves me 8 days of manual verification. Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot on this stream over the history about AI, the good and the bad, and my take is a little bit more nuanced in that I think we need to at least be willing to have conversations about it. I just find that the AI good and AI bad perspective to be rather limiting in a very complex discussion. Here's what I say is bad about AI, no matter how you slice it. What it's done to the stock market. That ain't good. I love because I'll watch some financial stuff, and generally on stream I don't talk about finances and politics unless it's in game, but I really like watching Nvidia say that they're selling a bunch of chips to an AI company, and then the AI company says they are selling their server architecture, some sort of AI thing, to another company who says they're going to be giving money to Nvidia to develop like you can actually see like the circular investment going on, and they just keep saying more and more outrageous things, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna end poorly. Fabula, you could be right. I don't know a lot about the large language model side. Most of the AI stuff that I've personally used has just been like the Suno AI to make music. It has gotten way better over time. Judging Covers, yeah. Hey, you know what? I know you probably, if you're working at one of those companies, don't dox yourself. But if they give you a stock option, maybe sell it. Because it shouldn't be worth that much, friend. Not financial advice. You should not take financial advice from an orc. Let's start there, okay? But there's this thing about stocks, right? From a more layman perspective, which I certainly consider myself to be one, a stock's value is a reflection of its earning potential. Some stocks, their price, especially the really big ones, what that price represents as far as earning potential is sort of a number that does not make sense. And they aren't really making that much money unless you count the money they keep passing around to each other. You see what I'm saying? I'm old enough, guys. I'm old enough. I remember more than one financial issue. So, just be safe. Judging, I think that's actually a very good thing to bring up in the discussion. People getting emotionally connected to their AI companions. Yeah, I think so like here's like a little microcosm to think about that point in particular. So I'm over here, right? I'm like, oh man, I want to stream. And then I start streaming and I play some like video game music that gets flagged for copyright. And then I'm like, oh, I need to find a way to have music. because I like having music while I play games. Or, So then I find Suno AI, and I can use that music to play in the background. I've never had an issue with any sort of algorithm saying it's copyrighted, because it's not. So, in another world, if Suno AI doesn't exist, I might have to go, AI isn't an option. I might need to actually talk to another human being to find out how they do it, or maybe talk to a composer and see if we can work together on something, right? So this is a microcosm example of me using a tool for something that I might have needed another human to figure out. So there definitely is a sort of factor of AI does limit the scope of how many other humans you need to do things, and that can have negative social implications. Obviously, people that have AI companions, that's a whole different ball of wax. I'm trying to think of the video I watched recently. Oh, I'm gonna see if I can find this. Okay, just give me a moment. Gotta see if I can find this. I can't remember the name of the creator, so I can't look for it that way. With what? No, I'm talking about the one where there's an AI video. Sorry, not an AI video. Someone can maybe has seen this, because he's definitely a guy that has multiple millions of subscribers. He did an AI video where he convinced an AI that he was the smartest baby in 1996, and he just ran with it. He does really good YouTube videos. Smartest baby. It's gonna bother me. I can't remember the name of that video. Anyway, Murug, if you have good suggestions talking about the psychological implications of AI companionship and you'd like to post them in chat, you can do that. And if it doesn't work, let me know and I can do it. Judging says, yeah, my company is very worried about people using our software as a replacement for therapy. Yeah. I mean, so, what I can say, judging, is that I was an embarrassing years old when I realized that talking about things can really help you process things. And if AI can take that place, right, and help you talk about things to help you process emotions, on one side, that's good, because now you have someone being able to open up about their emotions, right? But on another side, it's bad, because you're not really talking to someone. And part of opening up and being vulnerable is that you have to be vulnerable. With AI, you don't have to really be vulnerable. You can just kind of say whatever you want, especially if they hit you with the unconditional positive regard. And suddenly this just became a psychology theory chat. I'll pin that, Murag. Thank you. Twitch chat, you get it too. Don't worry. What's up?
Obvious content warning for your viewers on this.
Does the content itself give content warning?
I think so.
Okay, we're fine then. Yeah, I think that's a serious concern. Humans we are, I mean, you guys, I'm at orc. I don't know how it works for you guys, but humans do naturally seek human companionship. It's like kind of baked into our DNA, and when we don't get it, weird things happen. So yeah, that is very concerning. That being said, though, can there be good aspects of an AI companion that can at least help you feel comfortable talking about things, or maybe helping you to organize your ideas when you do go to talk to a real human being about it? Yeah, I mean, and that's sort of where I think having nuanced discussions about this is valuable, because it's really easy to just be like, well, you should never use AI for anything remotely like related to therapy. And then there's going to be use cases where people actually found it useful or helpful. Judging Cover says, I support banning AI for anyone under 25. Hey, now we're talking. Hey, you know what, Murag? This guy knows neurology. That's right, because your brain and its plasticity, it really doesn't start to set until you're 25-ish. Even then, it can go a little longer. This is actually why a lot of advocacy groups who are for responsible and safe cannabis use have also said the same number, because there is a chance that if you are if you have a susceptibility to psychosis, schizophrenia, or other serious mood or other mental disorders that are sort of in that family, cannabis can exacerbate it, or potentially like make it come on really suddenly. So using it before you're 25 is sort of a situation where you're like, you might be rolling the dice a little bit. That being said, is it safer than cigarettes or alcohol? Yeah. Most of us are adults here. I think we know that, but that doesn't mean we as a bunch of humans can't support each other and help each other reach safer and more wise outcomes. The difficulty is, though, is that like it's really hard to tell a teenager that they shouldn't do something that adults do, because they are so driven to be adult-like. So it's hard, but I do think the legal age of cannabis in places where it is legal, I think it should more responsibly be a higher age. Yeah, weed is bad for kids, full stop. The only time weed is good for kids is if they are like in some sort of chemotherapy, God forbid. Like then it's like, But I mean, honestly, that's part of doctors' jobs, is to look at the risks of a treatment and the potential harms it can do, right? So if you're on chemo and you need help being able to eat, and you're like a 8-year-old kid, and they have a cannabis treatment that might actually help you deal with some of the hunger issues, like, yeah, or pain relief. Because then the consequence of not being able to eat or being in racking pain a bunch is probably worse than the potential risk of complex neurological issues. The movie Transcendence is going to be real. I have no doubt about that. I don't think I know that movie. Hold on. Let me catch this fish. Let me see if I might know that movie. I feel like I do almost. Transcendence movie. Okay, let's take a look. This one? No, not that one. This one? Okay. Spoilers. And I do prefer going to Wiki, rather than having AI summarize it for me. Oh. Transcendence talks about the technological singularity, eh? Man, they got really wordy on this. Maybe the AI summary was better. Maybe I'll give it a watch. Maybe I will. It actually sounds pretty good. The most recent movie I watched with Murog was that Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which actually I would suggest. It was pretty well done. If you, like me, have a have a BA in English and you know all about Shelley and all of the romantics of the age, there's actually some nice Easter eggs in there for you. But it was very faithful to the book, believe it or not. Judging Cover says, interesting, nicotine combats schizophrenia. And you know what's interesting, Judging? I don't want to keep talking about Murad because she's not on comms. She could be if she wanted to be, but I don't.
I'm in a dungeon.
She's in a dungeon. But Murad for a time did work in community mental health. So people that, or like in residential mental health. So people that are like essentially wards of the state kind of situations. People that are living there because their level of mental health issues is so profound that like they can't function very well, or it helps them to learn more skills so they can function better. But you'd be surprised at how many people use nicotine. And you know, I haven't talked too publicly on stream about this. It's not really always an easy thing to talk about, but you know, I have been in a mental hospital before, and I have had severe I've had my bouts of psychosis, and it's interesting when people will say, hey, Vrograg, you shouldn't vape. And I'm like, nicotine's been for me in places you guys wouldn't maybe necessarily understand. So sometimes it's almost like a security blanket. There's like an extra layer of like, that's tough to give up. You're not wrong, because it probably isn't healthy for me to still use nicotine. But back in the day, I used to be a 2-pack-a-day smoker. I guarantee you this is more healthy than that. How much, I don't know, but I guarantee you it's healthier than that. Oh, really? Oh, we have another BA in English? Oh, Judgy, I'm glad you actually stumbled into a career, as all people with BAs in English do. They stumble into careers. I'm glad you stumbled into something that, judging based on your resume you said before, hopefully you're making some money. Minor in English QQ. That's all right. I had a very strange career in college. I was close to being able to do a minor in entomology or a minor in dance. It was a very liberal arts, in that I liberally applied all the arts to my degree. Judging? Hey, listen. I have a gigantic repository of writing. Hey man, I would love the 6-figure life. It's really embarrassing because Murog makes more money than I do. But, I mean, yo, hit me up in Discord, at Vrograg, if you're hiring. I even take low 6 figures. If it's technical writing, then maybe not the best, but I have done copy editing before, and I have journalism background. Go figure. Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm being okay, when I say Murag makes more money than I do, the job that I currently work is like entry level high school diplomas, like because I do delivery driving. I stay there because it has very good benefits and it's part of a union. So that's fine if Murag makes more money than I do because I have the good benefits package. Oh, it is technically. And see, judging, you see, you're like, oh, well, good writers are hard to find, but you hid the part about technical writing. People don't know. Technical writing is Sahara dry. And also necessary. It is a necessary and important part of our functioning world, but it is painstaking at times. If you've ever opened up instructions to like a new device you get, you're like, I wonder who wrote this. We have judging covers to thank. That's one example of technical writing. That might not be what you do. There are other types. That's the kind that most people can understand and relate to. Judging, you have... Also, wait, what were you giggling about?
Most of the group I'm in is listening to your stream, and you distracted me and
Oh.
getting my group killed, and so the statement that Vrograg got our group killed.
I don't know if you guys caught that, but apparently the people that are doing a dungeon with Murog right now, Murog got distracted, and she's healing, and they died, and they blamed it on me. I did want to respond to judging saying, it can suck, but I got to write what the government does when we get nuked. See, that is a level of restraint I don't have, because most of my writing that I've practiced and done over time has been very creative. You give me that as a prompt, oh, I wouldn't be able to stop, dude. What would happen? Technical writers have to be grounded and be like, no, this is what you're supposed to, like, this is, you have a formula, you have things you have to do, and you need to have consistent language. You can't use flowery words. You probably have a whole list of words you're not supposed to ever use for whatever reason, because they might be easily confused. That would itch around me like a dog collar. I'd be like, get it off. I need to write. We become mole people. Interesting. Well, you heard it here first. You guys thought you came here for Turtle Wow news, but now you're coming for nuclear Armageddon news. We all become mole people. Hold on, I got some clams to open up. Look at this. Come on, give me a gold pearl. I know you got a gold pearl. Come on. No gold pearls? I did get a green. That's nice. I didn't catch Elemental Earth. I got that from doing my cooldowns. I'm sorry, did everyone just see me open up a crate of parts from Venture Co. and it had nothing in it? How did that happen? Sorry, I'm trying to organize you guys so you guys can see what level of fishing, what I've been catching. I'll put cloth down there. Oh, I got more fish? Ugh, okay. Put that there. Mithril-hide trout can go over there. All right. More lobsters. I caught a red gill? What the heck? That actually is pretty weird. This I actually did catch, so it's leaving it here. So, I've been fishing with you guys pretty much. This isn't what I caught, but 27 firefin so far. 68 yellowtail, 11 winter squid, 1 nightfin snapper. I think it's too bright out. I can't get those anymore. But almost just short of 60 stone scale. Oily blackmouth, bunch of dark claw lobsters, raw glossy mitefish, rock scale cod, mitefish, mithril-headed trout, red gill, and a sun scale salmon. These could have been nightfin if it was still nighttime. That's pretty good. We can also break down the numbers here. It looks like green is this particular session. So it's 23% have been spotted yellowtail, 15% lobster, 18% stone scale eel, 52. Everything else is either single digit. So that's, if you guys ever wonder why I like fishing in spots that have double procs for stone scale, now you know. I am Vrograg backwards. How's it hanging? Larazia, how's it going? It's going all right. We just had some light discussion about nuclear Armageddon, mental health issues, you know. Oh, judging, I'm sorry. I just caught this comment. We write in second person omniscient, which is the oddest style. Yes, it is. That, narratively, it is a very awkward thing to write in, but as an instruction pamphlet, you are indeed omniscient. You are supposed to know everything, and you are talking to the person reading the instructions or guide. That is the guideline for how you're supposed to write those. If you ever try to write like a story, even an essay in that way, it's not going to sound good. How's the mood? Is Murag taking care of you? How's the mood? Oh, man. Speaking of mental health, I'm doing great. But there was a time when people would ask me how my mood is when I was much younger and much more wild and free and less medicated and less counseled. When that meant a whole different thing. I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm doing as well as someone can who has been emailed by Blizzard Legal. No, sorry. I was not emailed by Blizzard Legal. I was emailed by Google to tell me that Blizzard Legal wants to know my real name. Oh, God. Judging reads, too. Oh, no. If On a Winter's Night, A Traveler is the only book that comes close. I don't know what that is. I think I've heard someone talk about it. It might be because of its style, though. Yeah. I told, essentially, Larazia, because for people who don't know, I did let people in my little private news Discord know. I said not to go public and talk about it in other Discords, essentially, because I didn't want the messaging about it to, like, get caught up and people think that I am somehow on the lawsuit. But I also, I didn't update that. You're right, Larazia. Part of that was I wanted to talk to another lawyer. And so I've talked to multiples at this point. I wanted to make sure it was cool that I tell people that Google is going to give up my ID. So Nazi, that is not true. So there's a couple things. So again, not a lawyer, but I can tell you this. So Blizzard, as you are probably aware of, has a lawsuit case that they are working on in order to stop Turtle from using their IP. In order to do that, they need to get a bunch of information. They need to demonstrate to a judge that in some way, shape, or form their copyright has been impinged upon. And even though it's a civil case, they are extended certain investigative privileges to try to ascertain details about the case. So, for instance, let me put it to you this way. If I was doing something that was very obviously breaking copyright, if I was, let's say I have a really good card printer and I'm just making identical copies of Magic the Gathering cards and I'm just selling them, okay? Very clear-cut copyright infringement case, right? Now, if they're trying to investigate to find out who I am, because I'm the one doing it, if whoever sold me the printer is being asked, hey, do you have the identification of the person that bought that printer? They wouldn't ordinarily. Most companies have guidelines to be like, no, like we just don't give out information on people, right? So that's fine. If you have a lawsuit, you can get permission from a judge to like ask an interested and confirmed party additional information. Google doesn't ever really give out your information. They want to keep that all internal. However, because there's a lawsuit, they can send a subpoena to Google being like, hey, we know of this person who's using your platform called Vrograg Fishslayer. We believe he has information about our ongoing lawsuit. Google will just be like, all right, well, we got to let them know. And that's the step we're on right now. I could try to quash it. If I tried to quash it, there would be a separate legal litigation that would go on. And essentially, there would be almost like a mini court case, not a court case necessarily, but some sort of an adjudication where I would need to tell a judge why Blizzard doesn't have the right to know who I am. And as someone who's been doing journalism for Turtle WoW for as long as I have, ethically, they can ask who I am if they have like a good legal reason to know. Like, I'm fine with that. But let's say I wasn't comfortable with that. They would be like, no, we know that you do stuff with Turtle WoW. I think it's pretty clear, guys, that I do stuff with Turtle WoW, right? I can't hide from that. So, because they know I have a channel on Google or YouTube, that's why they subpoena Google to have Google tell them my name so that they can later subpoena me to get me to give a deposition about the case. That's really what's going on. Oh. It is Nazi. It is very loose what they have. They are very much grasping at straws. We were joking around a little bit earlier in stream where I'm like, it's pretty clear, guys, I don't live in Russia and I'm not running Turtle WoW. Considering the amount of times I've complained about stuff on Turtle WoW, you think, you know, I'm pretty much not in charge of anything around here. But, you know, they're going to want me to connect dots for them. They're going to want me to give information I have, and I'm going to not want to do that. But we have to get through step one. Oh, Nazi, I'm with you. In fact, I've can I talk about that? Yeah, no, that's fine. I did talk to a lawyer from an advocacy group for First Amendment rights, specifically detailing ones for press and journalists. Most people who have watched my content know that I have, for a long time, been an information source, an information gatherer, and a journalist for the community. In the U.S., there's a lot of case history that talks about what are called shield laws, at least on state-to-state basis. This is a federal case. There's not technically a shield law, but there's a lot of case history of journalists not being made to be forced to give information about stuff because they do not want to ruin their access. They do not want to ruin the relationship they have with their information sources. And they also don't want to be bullied off from telling the stories they want to tell because that would infringe upon First Amendment. So, yeah, Nazi, when I get a real lawyer, a lawyer who's going to tell me not to talk about it, that's very much my tack. As far as I wouldn't want to tell them anything. I mean, listen, even if they know everything I know, it's not going to be enough to build anything. Because everyone I've talked to and spoken to from the team has been very careful about using private channels, not revealing personal identification, not talking about real places. Like, meticulous. So, okay. I don't know anything, dude. Judging, they're not targeting me as much as they're desperate for information. And if there's one thing I've given to the community, is that I am your one-stop shop for information. I am almost proud that when they're like trying to figure out stuff about Turtle WoW, that my name came into the picture. This Vrograg guy, he knows what's going on. Yeah, exactly, Nazi. Exactly. And I mean, I don't even know what their full legal strategy is. You know? I don't. Hello, Mr. Rosh, how's it going? See, judging, you get it. And I guarantee you there's probably a couple people who like work at Blizzard or, you know, something like that have watched my streams. And the funny thing is, they can't tell the lawyers what to do at this point. They could try, but do I use the faithful upscale mod? No. I don't even know what that is. Telling people how I set up my game is kind of funny because it's been a slow process I've done over years. So I don't know every step to it. Yeah, Nazi, that might be it too. I think the class changes videos that brought you up. Yeah, I mean, actually so on my channel, my most popular video has been the Turtle WoW orientation guide. But I was back on class changes 2. I did actually help with video production for their class highlight stuff. But I mean, that's contract work. Like, you know, it wasn't like that was posted on my channel. You know what I mean? So that would be like targeting someone who did an odd job for Turtle WoW. I guess you could. Yeah, Nazi, and you know, every big corpo does like throwing money at problems until it goes away, but I think it's been really interesting to watch Turtle not buckle or fold. I don't think Blizzard expecting that. Also, thank you, judging. Thank you for giving me some of that sweet, sweet AI money. Appreciate you. Oh man, oh no, wait, is it gonna double play? Sometimes it double plays. Okay, I think we might be okay. But no, I appreciate that. So, yeah, I mean, in the long run, I mean, that might be their strategy. It also might be their strategy that because Turtle didn't buckle right away, that they might want to actually discuss things with Turtle. It could be that. Yeah, judging, I'm going to put that right in the legal defense fund. Which, again, I'm not a defendant in any case. What's going to happen is they're going to try to depose me. So we're going to put it in the be obnoxious towards Blizzard fund. More how each stated brought to you by... Oh, yeah. Of course. I mean, listen, man, like... I don't know, Bob, if you've ever done any work in media... But there's this little thing called credits that runs after any production. That, like... Yeah, I'm going to put my name there. I busted my ass off to make those videos look decent. Because the community deserved it. And because Turtle WoW didn't have someone who was a decent video editor. And so I'm like... They actually approached me and they're like, hey, could you, like, put together these videos? I'm like, yeah, sure. Mark Kern came out and fought for Nost and Blizzard made Classic out of it? Yeah, exactly. Like, the thing that's crazy to me is that private servers are clearly like the think tank to make good ideas happen for Classic. Why would you want to be burning down your good think tank? I mean, it's possible, judging. You know, and I think that's why, you know, Turtle WoW, you know, I know they've lawyered up, you know, and they have their own thing going on. But these copyright cases take forever to happen. And, you know, part of... So let's say there's a world where the end game for Blizzard is to actually work some kind of a licensing agreement out, right? Well, they need to find out how Turtle WoW works for them to go to that table and have a good faith discussion with Turtle WoW people about how to run that. If they know nothing, why would you even go to the negotiation table? So, like, I mean, if that's Blizzard's final maneuver is that they're going to license or they're going to work out some deal with Turtle, they still need to find out what's going on. I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, they were great. I don't know if you remember it hit you on Discord and told you so. No? No, I mean, like, I definitely... I don't even remember how it happened. But at some point, someone from the Turtle team messaged me and was like... I think if you pay attention, I like, produced 8 of them. One of them was produced by someone else, and I think whoever did that, they didn't like how it was going. Sorry, hold on. Can I send links here? I forgot. Well, it looks like it worked. Hold on. Let me see. What does that link go to? Faithful Upscale Mod. Taking a look, taking a look. Oh, I see. So it's not like an HD patch. It just takes the existing textures and stuff and just makes them look a little crisper and better. It's not bad. I might have, like, in a reverse engineering way, have gotten there naturally. Just by tweaking stuff over the years. But I haven't heard many people use that. That's good to know. Am I fishing to fish, or are you fishing for a goal? Hi, D-Lunas. That is a philosophical question that I don't even think I'm qualified to answer. But you know what? I'm fishing because I like fishing. Is there a goal? I guess in a way, I mean, if my bags get full to the point where I can't fish anymore, that might be an end goal. I like catching stone scale because they're quite valuable. I like catching nightfin because they're quite valuable. I like catching dark claw lobster because then I can make the lobster stew from Murog, who plays a priest. And she likes getting dark claw lobster because it has high spirit. And firefin is also something I can use technically. But
I also like nightfin.
I only got one. Sorry. And you know, the other reason I like fishing is because it's a bit like if you've ever gone fishing with someone else, it's relaxing. It's just you in the water and someone else, and you can spend hours in silence, or you can just spend the whole time gabbing it up, talking about anything. So I find it's a nice medium to both play the game and talk about the game. And really anything else. I mean, we've covered a pretty wide variety of topics today, from nuclear Armageddon to AI to the Blizzard lawsuit to me getting subpoenaed for my name. I mean, yeah. So sometimes fishing's just right. Although I am no longer the Fishslayer. Now it is Rodfather Fishslayer has the title. I hope at some point Rodfather signs on or something, because I wanna celebrate with him and cheer on as he finds out he got the title. I think it was I'm not sure which GM helped me. It might have been Cherry. I think Cherry had the juice to do it. Can we all take a moment just to appreciate how good the GMs are? I love the GMs here. I don't know if this has ever happened to anyone, but let me catch this fish and I'll show you guys something. This is a bit of a PSA. So if you go to the donation shop and you look at skins, you see how I have, as a male orc, I have like, there's like a whole, 7 different skins I could wear. When you get a skin, it's a little item that goes in your inventory. When you click it, it gives you the certain affectations of that skin. So like, if I did this one, I would probably have really dark, ashy skin. I think I have one in Vrograg. Do you not have it? I have a very full situation here. Hold on. Here it is. Okay. All right. So, just to demonstrate. So we'll see Vrograg right here. And if I click on this skin, you'll see now I look like a Blackrock Clan orc, right? I got the cloudy eyes, the little red scars on me. Now, if I want to go back to default Vrograg, I just click this again. And boom, I'm still Vrograg, right? Now, here's something, this does have to do with GMs. So let's say you really like skins, you have more than one. If you have more than one, let's say I had one right in this slot right here. If I clicked this and then clicked onto a second alternate skin, I can never revert back to base Vrograg. Because the way the game works is it saves your previous look, and those are the two you can toggle. So if you have 2 skins, be careful to switch back to your default skin before switching to a third skin. I had this on Obamsawin, where I was looking at different skins. I have a bunch of turtle coins, right? So I tried that, and unfortunately, I was stuck between 2 alternate skins. I couldn't go back to my base character. And I put a ticket in, and true story, the GM, might have been sleepy, teleported me to a big white room and said, Vrograg, you're a goof, don't do that. Okay. Go back to, and then started changing my my looks, essentially, until I could get back to the vanilla look. And it's like, okay, don't do that again. And because they did that, and because I've educated you, it's a win-win. Now you guys know not to do it. And I can talk about how good the GMs are. Turtle WoW should make the judge play through the Hydro Zone so it's obvious how better it is from Blizzard's IP. Okay, listen, Judge, if we're going to use these... This is a hot topic question. The strongest Turtle WoW zone, I think we throw him in Gilneas. I don't think Hyjal has what it takes. Gilneas, though? Gilneas is a masterpiece. I'm not going to lie. Hyjal has some sanding I still think could be done. Have you tried fighting those trolls that, like, give no rewards and are just absolute animals that destroy you if you try fighting them? What are they all about? you can't tell me they weren't like just forgotten by the team or kind of not polished enough. I mean, if you know, you know. You go to Gilneas, you will struggle to find something like that. I think the judge should play Gilneas. Maybe second place would be. I can't vouch for Northshire. I think I probably like Hyjal more than Grim Reaches, but it's close. Baylor's not bad either. I think they're all around the same in my mind. Yeah, see, Lizzie Babs got it. By the way, you know what, guys? You know how I was whinging before about how no one watched the video I put out reviewing a different video game? Lizzie Babs watched it and commented. And I respect and appreciate that. Thank you, Lizzie Babs. It's also a stark reminder of Alliance bias. Yeah, I know. I know it is. The team doesn't want to hear me say that. They are very much over me saying that. And I'm over there being an Alliance bias. So I guess we could agree to disagree. Oh, yeah. Lunas, this is called Fishing Buddy. Sorry, I missed that. It will show you the statistics for the... why aren't you... Come on. There it is. So in the yellow text is how many things I've caught in this zone. Not full zone, but subzones, because where you fish matters by subzone. And then it'll tell me how much time I've spent fishing. The green over here is how much I've caught this session, so since I've logged on. And it'll break it down all for percentages. It's very useful. I like having it up so people can see just how fantabulously rich I'm going to become off of selling Stone Scale. I mean, if we just go by the Stone Scale, I'm up to 64 gold. Just from hanging out fishing. You guys can do it too. They'll never make a zone as good for the Horde. Oof. You know what, Maxim? I remain optimistic, and with the new patch, I think they're going to take their first real big swings at it, because I think that's going to expand some stuff in Thousand Needles. As far as like a zone, we'd have to be waiting for Zulaman, I think, right? For like a horde specific zone, because Northshire is technically cross faction because there's one quest for the Horde in there, but it's an alliance zone, right? So. Oh, and judging, that is exactly why I always press the turtle team to do more Horde stuff. Not because the stories aren't necessarily bad on the Horde side, it's just they're not finished. There's so much more to expand on in the Horde. Grim Totem Tribe, which they're continuing on in the Nightmares of Ursal. The Forsaken are a real, like, head scratcher from the way they're depicted, from mustache twirling villains to, like, conflicted people who are reborn on the wrong side of death. The trolls are scattered and varied all throughout Azeroth. Having a uniting force seems like an obvious storyline element, but like, what would that mean for the Darkspear? What would that mean for the rest of the trolls? And the orcs are essentially aliens on a different planet trying to make their home. There's plenty of great narrative strength in Horde races as they are. And we have the goblins. We have a new goblin narrative too, with the Duratar Labor Union breaking free from the cartel. There's great stories in Turtle WoW that can be expanded on for the Horde. That, you're damn right, Maxim. You're damn right. I wouldn't be so presumptuous as to write lore for Turtle WoW. I would write quests if I could. because I've actually done it before. They haven't picked them up. Back in the early days, anyone could submit quests, but I more recently submitted one because, you know what? Fun fact, or sad fact, if you've gone to the new stuff in Frey Island where you can learn a weapon skill, anyone can learn that, right? Every single weapon type is included, except for one. And do you know what the one that isn't included is? Wands. So I actually wrote a wand weapon skill quest for Frey Island. I don't know if they're ever going to use it, but I wrote it a while ago. I think they might not use it. But yeah, I mean, Maxim, maybe if someday, like, in some alternate reality, you know, if they really wanted someone to do writing, but I feel underqualified, honestly. I don't know the lore like a lot of people do. I have a perception of the lore, but the people that have done the writing are very influenced by Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3 as much as vanilla. And it's shown, and I think it's actually helped the storylines be stronger. But I think the Horde have some of the most compelling, unfinished stories in some cases. And there's a lot we don't know about them, right? We don't know about all their different cultural practices. We don't know about how they interact. We don't know how peaceful or unpeaceful certain interactions are between the various Horde races. There's tons. It's a ripe field, fertile for writing, and I think with some exception, sure, but I think most of the writing that they've kept has been pretty good. So Rao Kangren, I know you're saying that because it's funny, but I will tell you that wand weapon skill actually does affect the calculation of how effective wands are. I'm not joking about that. I actually checked. It does actually matter, and that's why I want there to be a wand weapon skill quest. Oh, and listen, there's like 5 people who feel that way, including myself. I bet you. But you know, like some classes, like mages or warlocks, they have like how many weapon types do they get? It's like sword, dagger, staff, wand. I think that's it. A warrior or a hunter has like 12 quests to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you know, like maybe some of the casters want to do some of those quests. Yes, judging. And you know what would make that more compelling for the Darkspear is for the Murlocs to be properly scary again, not goofy little cartoon animals. Make Murlocs scary again. The earliest depictions of Murlocs were terrifying little like frog demons that came out of the water. And now when people think of Murlocs, you think of like, oh, look at him, he has a little top hat, he's dancing. It's like, that's not my Murloc. Murlocs to me are terrifying. Not just because you can pull a bunch of them, but like the actual artistic depictions of them were much different. There's plenty of stuff you can play around to with the Sea Witch in that very early story. But more than anything, I think the most compelling thing for me personally about the Horde story that I really want to push forward with is that like every single race in the game, except for trolls, has like a real place to call their own. The Darkspear have kind of been living on Ogrimar's couch for a long time now. You know, High Elves have a city, Dwarves, Gnomes have their own city now. Remember, they have Gnomer Reclamation Facility. High Elves, Night Elves, right? Orcs have a city of their own. Tauren do, Forsaken do. Even the Goblins have Sparkwater Port. Arguably, they should maybe have a more real city, but they have something, right? The Trolls don't have anything. Do you think we have enough people listening to my voice that would be interested in helping my hunter Rexana get up to Hyjal? It's something I need to do. And I want to take the long way. Really?
I'm pretty sure you have the flight point.
You think I have the flight point?
Yeah.
Oh. I wasn't sure. Also, guys, I want you to know too, if you followed along on my Path of Rexar character creation and all that stuff, I want you to know that Rexana, still to this day...
We started the attunement for...
Oh, we did start it? Oh, okay. Alright, so maybe I do have the flight point. But I haven't played Rexana much. But I want you guys to know that Rexana still to this day does not have a Hearthstone and has not used a ranged weapon except for one exception, which is when I'm in a raid and the raid needs a tranquilizing shot. I have like a green level 5 bow that I will equip to do tranquilizing shot, and that's it. True story. And I even tried out a new build yesterday that I was really excited about and is probably terrible. But I was excited about it. And it's fun to be excited about something in Turtle. Trolls have that place in Stone Talon, but I've never been. So judging, let me judging you.
All trolls are the same.
First off, that is for forest trolls. But secondly, that existed when I started playing Turtle WoW. Like that existed in 2022. It has not seen any noticeable change except for Zul'jin used to be there and now he's not there. So, you know, when we go back and forth talking about how Turtle WoW, there's an alliance bias, that's been the big glaring one to me, is that Amani Allure has not changed at all. The High Elf counterpart zone is gone, and now they have their own city. It's not gone, there's still parts of it, but now there's like a huge city. Alothalas. Trolls? Nope. Goblins don't even have a city. So expansion race wise, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of behind here. Like we have Sparkwater Port. Sparkwater Port was, yeah. More correct if I'm wrong. Sparkwater Port was there when we started too, right? Yeah. Sparkwater Port hasn't changed. No, Gnomes got their own city in the same amount of time. Which, by the way, I was super excited for the Gnomes when that happened. I loved, because like, I like stories no matter what side it's on. I was so excited that the Gnomes got their own place, you know, because that continues their storyline that they're trying to work against all the irradiation and Gnomer, and they're starting to reclaim it slowly. I think that's awesome. That's a great note. So where's the story continuation for the Horde? That's what I'm saying. Slips, I think you're only saying that because there were gnomes taking over Crossroads yesterday. I saw you in guild chat, I think. No, was that you? Might have been someone else. The Horde are uncivilized savages? Okay, so then show that to me. If they're so uncivilized, then at least change Amani Allure to show how uncivilized they are. You know, show the buildings being ruined or wrecked, you know? Horde have 3 capitals in game. Alliance aren't allowed on. Listen. They started doing cross-faction battlegrounds, so you say that, but I mean, how long is that going to last for? But that is a good quality joke. Judging says, the Horde has 3 capitals in game Alliance aren't allowed on. Warsong Gulch, Alterac Valley, and Arathi Basin. Damn. Hey, I didn't say it. Just repeating it. Just bringing you the news. The tiny threat must be purged. Slips, listen. I know some people hate gnomes. I don't love gnomes, but I don't hate them either. Also, Lizzie Babs, one of my truest and bluest Vrograg Fishslayer enjoyers, watchers, community commenters, is a big gnome fan. See, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. You know what I'm saying? Actually, and some people, longtime watchers, may know this, but I did do like a feature. It was for an RP guild called the Gnomish Cosmonaut Corps. I made a gnome called Vrograg. I still have Vrograg laying around, so I could go RP with them as part of the event, because I wanted to show it off. That was cool. Didn't I read somewhere a new battleground is coming? Could be, or could be a new PvE, PvP objective, kind of like an open world one. It would be cool if they fixed the Solithus one. Real ones remember the 1 week it was working and then it stopped working again. But I made sure to get that quest done when I could. Don't want flies. You guys are so mean sometimes about gnomes. You know what? As a journalist, I recognize people are scared of what they don't understand. And I have sought to understand gnomes. And you know what they've taught me? That it's okay to be short, which is an important lesson for me because I'm not that tall of a guy. And secondly, it's okay to be optimistic and curious. And I think we can all take that lesson with us in life. Now, do I think they shouldn't be dealing with, demon stuff? Yeah. Yeah, that is concerning. It's the same for any race that deals with warlocks. The LOL sand battles. Gnomes pretend to be 7 years old for the kids' menu discount. Cannot be trusted. Yeah, but here's the thing. Judging, they're still small, so the kids' menu might be as much as they need to eat. And, it'll be made up for later when they can't reach the cereal on top of the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? So, it's all a wash, really. Eucharist Enjoyer says, I, for one, welcome our gnome overlords. Now that's a step too far. See, this is how we found common ground. We don't need to hate gnomes, and we also don't need them to be our overlords. I think some would like to be our overlords, but some of that's because you guys are so mean to them that they feel they need to fight back. I mean, I've dealt with it too. It's really tough. I've been an orc my whole life. It took a long time for me to get the proper diction in order to speak. Because, naturally I have huge tusks that I have to hide, and I have a huge, lower jutting jaw, It takes a lot of work to be intelligible when speaking. Anyone remembers that one stream where I did IRL T-Mog as the real Vrograg, and I had those little false things in my mouth that made talking so hard. I hated it. Oh, you know what I'm interested in? And this is just more of a curiosity. I know it's fun to meme and joke around about how evil gnomes are. But I feel like goblins tick most of the same boxes. So why are goblins not hated as much? And that's a genuine question. That stream was awesome. Yeah, it was a stream of all time. I wonder if I still have a picture loaded for that. I have drag rag. That's not the same. Jump scare you. Drag rag. Oh, that's not the right picture. Nope. Where did I put it? Hold on, I'm looking for the picture. All right, stream pics. Yeah, oh, there it is, Okay. Oh, too big. I love when I can multitask because I can fish and set up stuff on stream. Okay, and then... Not many know. That's what I look like without my disguise on. If you missed that stream, you missed out. Shouts out to Murag for doing the makeup. Gnomes are only permissible in the Alliance because they killed 90% of the gnomes. Damn, that's dark. So I just see Lizzie Babs just says, wow. Just wow. I mean, I would say that, you know, they found common course with the dwarves, but the dwarves did seemingly kick them out of the city the second a city opened up. So what does that say? You know, how much truth is there in the validity of something more, you know, more purely definably evil about gnomes? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Hey, by the way, Lizzie Babs, Blackwing Guard's going to, we're going to try doing some Kara 40 prog today. I know you're an old Blackwing Guard alumnus. I just thought I'd let you know. I can't wait to go die a bunch. It's going to be so fun. Technically, they didn't kick them out. Key crafters are still there. Key crafters? The heck are key crafters? Are you talking about the guys that sell keys to the mages? Everyone forgets that mages can open lockboxes, by the way. Kara 40 prog is so rough. I know, I'm like cautiously optimistic. I know it's just going to be a bunch of dying. It is tough. But this time we're doing it with a team that we've rebuilt from the ground up, so it's exciting. Do I still have that mod link from a little bit ago? Bob, could you be more specific? Which mod? Are you talking about the upscale mod? I think that was... I can grab it if you want. There, I just put it... I put it in Twitch chat because you asked in Twitch chat. Am I still fishing? Oh, what's going on? Oh, sometimes it bugs out and I gotta walk away. Oh, I posted it in Twitch chat and you were asking in YouTube. There, I put it in YouTube now. Yep, no problem. Good luck with it. Let me know how it goes. I think I had heard of it, but I'd never seen anyone like plug it. Oh, Mimo's over here. Hello, Mimo. Oh, I got a stretch. Raukangren has redeemed stretch. Ugh. All right. Look out the core. Get in the arms. I wish I could see those more clearly, Raukangren, because sometimes I just straight up miss them. I'm gonna do the hand stretch. Thank you, Raukangren. I am a big fan of all things Bulbasaur, and I like Cthulhu as well. It's Murag's a huge, like, Lovecraftian fan. She's run Call of Cthulhu mini campaigns. She's run like other Lovecraftian inspired things. And I like Bulbasaur. So this is a little bit like my relationship with her. See, I represent the Bulbasaur, And she represents the Cthulhu stuff. Oh, I think I might have showed it off briefly, but I'll show it off on stream here. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it. I got something new to add to my ever-growing collection of Bulbasaur things. This I got recently. Hold on. So it might just look like a Bulbasaur figurine, right? He's doing that with his little vines, but check this out. It's actually a headphone holder. So whenever I need them, I'm just like, oh, thank you. It's nice to have a functional prop. Yes, I believe the technical name, it would be Bulbathulu, would be the technical name for the guy in the shirt. I periodically will go on Etsy and look for new and strange Bulbasaur creations, and that was one of them. And I'm like, hey, I actually, because I normally just throw my headset to like the side or put it on like a box over there. I'm like, oh, what if Bulbasaur held my headphones for me? Do you guys think Memo's shy? They're a field marshal. No guild. Maybe they're waiting for me to be done fishing. But there's plenty of room to fish here, too. There's like a couple ponds that way. Hold on, let me... I am starting to run out of space in my bags, which is impressive since I have like mega big bags. So let me get rid of some of the junk fish here. Invite them to Blackwing Guard. I mean, I'm not generally the type to just invite people I just see to a guild. Who am I, Balerion? Am I right? That's how Balerion gets all their people, because they just invite new people. They have like bots in the starting areas that will just send you a guild invite when you spawn, essentially. Kind of strange you have no shirt with Bulma and Bulbasaur. So Bulma from DBZ? I do enjoy DBZ, sure. It's like a bit of a guilty pleasure. But what's the cognitive connection between Bulma and Bulbasaur? See, like, you could sell to me that Bulbasaur is some sort of like eldritch creature. Sure, I mean, why not? He's like part plant, part frog thing, and he has like vines that go everywhere. That's very Lovecraftian. Well, what does Bulma have to do with Bulbasaur? I'm not saying there isn't a connection. I just don't see what it is. I mean, I have seen other things mixing other IPs with Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is nice because you can mix him with a lot of other things. The bulb itself can just like be a whole different things. There's lots of Halloween themed Bulbasaurs where his bulb turns into a pumpkin. And I don't collect many of those. Also, Hotstep, if that is you, by the way, I wanted to thank you for helping me through understanding. So, yesterday for Blackwing Lair. I really wanted to try this Beast Mastery Survival hybrid. Of course, if you're doing Beast Mastery, you need your pet to be in tip-top, right? And I noticed that I didn't have Roar of Fortitude, which is that new ability they have. And Misha was still like level 58. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll get another bear. I'll make sure it's level 60, right? Okay. That bear, by the way, is named Mikhail, which is the masculinized version of Misha. So it makes even more sense when you think about it. But I immediately bumped into something which, you know, if you play Hunter a lot, you know about this. But, like, remember, I only had one pet for the entirety of Rexana's existence. So I wasn't familiar with this. But the loyalty thing, right? And I'm like, what do I have to do to make you, like, my friend? And I saw conflicting things. People going like, oh, you just have to, like, kill things with it. And then other people like, well, you don't have to do anything. You just have to wait and make sure they're happy. I'm like, okay. And then someone said it's both, but I couldn't get, like, hard and fast numbers on any of it. But I believe Hot Step, aka Slips, had the right of it. Is that it does take both. I think the XP threshold is you need like 5% of experience points for your current level. So if you're level 60, even though you don't earn XP, you still need 5%. It did make it a little difficult. I only got Mikhail up to Dependable, I think. It's like level 4 rank. Which, you know, only makes a little bit of a difference in that gives you points to invest in, like, abilities and stuff. I still had a good time. I do not think I did as much damage as I would in survival. And I think I didn't do as much damage as I might have in, like, a full Beast Mastery with, like, a more ranged setup. But I'll tell you what I did do. I reached peak immersion and fantasy of being Rexar. Because if you think about Rexar fighting, right? Rexar would jump into melee. He's got those 2 axes. And you know what? Misha to Rexar isn't like some, like, accessory piece. Misha is, like, part of the main show. So to me, I'm like, all right, maybe Beast Mastery with a little bit of survival makes more sense. And I was rewarded for my efforts because I got I got Doom's Edge in Blackwing Lair last night. I was very excited about that. Which not only looks like a good axe, it also has axe skill on it, which I love that. Rao Kangren, I agree with you. However, that does sound suspiciously close to giving Blizzard money. I'm not going to give people that are subpoenaing Google for my real legal name money. As a point of order, I won't. You might be right that I should try it and I'd have a good time. I don't even doubt that. I bet you're right. It's free to play, actually? That's even worse. Okay, so it's free to play. Do you have to sign up? It would be funny if I signed up with the account that has my YouTube on it. And then there's just a couple steps of like, oh, wait a second. And then they start collecting data on me. I mean, come on. So, yeah, exactly. Novarix, exactly. You get it. I don't want to give them more information about me. They're not getting anything. I don't care if they're getting telemetry data on where I put my mouse when I'm not paying attention. They're not getting anything out of me unless it's compelled legally. And even then, listen, guys, I'll do jail time for perjury. They can't stop me. That is a joke for all legal purposes. And for Murog. That would be wild to actually do jail time over all this. No, Slips, don't clip it. No. That would be so funny. Like during the deposition, they're like, okay, and like, do you swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Exhibit A, and they just play the clip. Like, well, that's out of context. I said I was joking. You heard Akalix is in Supermax? He's not in Supermax. He's not in Supermax. He's in General Pop, guys. Let's be real. Come on. He's not that dangerous. Interesting. Nova Rix is over in Twitch chat and has actually broken down the actual formula. If you make a good game and support it, people will play it. Because it seemingly Heroes of the Storm lost favor because they no longer supported it. Interesting. Maybe Blizzard could learn from that. Maybe. Are there any Hunter players in here who have like a good understanding of the character? I want you to look at I want to show you a talent tree, and I want you to tell me how bad it is. Well, last patch was like a week ago. That was a mini patch, wasn't it? But yes, it's true. They didn't fix the fishing here. It's still broken as hell. I'm up to 84 stone scale eel. Hungry lizard. I mean, yeah, like, the thing is this is why I genuinely feel bad for Blizzard developers specifically. They will put their heart and soul into making a great game, and then like their corporate overlords just give them just enough rope to hang themselves with. And that's gotta feel like such a defeating thing to have happen. Lizard? Hold on, I'm gonna turn up the lights in here. Bam. I think I startled Murog with that. Do you like it dark? Okay, hold on, guys. Murog wanted it dark.
It's fine. You can have your studio lights on.
Damn. I want everyone to know that if I'm going down with the ship, Murog has been the producer the entire time, and she should go down with me. Lurie Fox, I can actually answer your question a little bit. You said, I'm a hunter, but I don't really understand things. I wonder if a one-hand weapon is better for survival. Just started testing it, though. Someone said that the base weapon damage is what calculates carve. So that's true. So if you have a big honkin' two-hand weapon and you're doing carve on like AoE, I think that's what you're supposed to do. But for bosses and stuff, I think 2 one-hand weapons is actually better now, or competitive. And I say that because Mongoose Bite now strikes with both weapons if you're dual wielding, which was huge for Rexana. Is there a thing as a prison for couples? There's a joke there. Yeah, it's called a cruise ship. A jail for couples. I'm trying to think of other places that I hate being at with Murog, or I feel trapped. A real estate office? that feels like prison. Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm a lucky orc, okay? Legal marriage. Nah. You know what? Listen, guys, if you walk into prison and you want to be in prison, is it prison? Think about that. I'll tell Murag next time I see her, I'm like, you know what? You're the greatest jailer ever. See, that works at multiple levels. All right, hold on. I'm going to bring up that talent tree. I'm tired of passively thinking about this. I want to look at it now. All right. So it would be browser 2. Okay. Guys, we're in it now. Okay. The spec that I made for a essentially beast mastery with survival. I went 5 in swift aspects. I needed to get down to here, so a lot of this stuff I could put 3 in here. I could put any combination. The vampirism that this gives isn't that good, so I kind of skipped it. So I did this, and then I did that to get to the next. Coordinated assault's big, you want that. And then Unleashed Fury just makes my pet do more damage. Easy. More focus regeneration's good. Then I went to Ferocity. Bestial Precision, so my pet can get hit. I got Bestial Wrath. I forgot to use it. Damn. I did get it. Spirit Bond, and then I got Frenzy. And then I skipped this and went right to Kill Command. This looks slightly different for some reason. Maybe it's not. Anyway. I'm trying to remember what I did. Savage Strikes here. Here and here. I got 1 in Carve. I should have taken Deterrence, but I didn't. I think I split the rest of my points here. I think I might got 1 in Nettle and 1 in Hit. This part is kind of a toss-up at the end. Well, this is the build I used. And I had a good time doing it, I'm telling you. I've never played with like pet micro as like part of what I'm doing, so it was actually kind of engaging. Oh, Nega, how's it going? I see Lurifox just putting a couple laughing emojis. Yeah, it was funny. Okay, so like you understand. Like the thing is that okay. So most Beast Mastery builds I see, right? Because what this really is me wanting to do Beast Mastery, right? The thing is Rexana doesn't do range damage. She does melee. So like coordinated, the little baited shot thing, I'm like, I can't do that. I don't have a bow. So I skipped it, and I'm like, well, then what can I get in survival? Because it feels mean to me, right? Maybe it's only me. But if you're fighting some like big dragon or something, right? And you're like, hey, best friend in the world that I've been traveling with for years. Hey, go fight that dragon. I'm going to stand here and just shoot arrows. But you're good. Man, that's not friendship. That's abuse. Now, if the hunter jumps into the fray with the animal, well, now they're on, they're equals in a way. They're fighting together much more. The hunter's taking all the same risks that the pet is. And that to me seems like a little bit like you might actually be friends. You might actually respect your animal companion. discard Carve, embrace deterrence. No, Carve is just good. It is good. I would have rather discarded other things before I discarded Carve. Oh, who do we got here? We have Grokar. Grokar, who has been a guide to new areas for me in the past. Good to see you, friend. Oh, are you close enough to inspect? What do you got for talents? Oh, show me talents. Why aren't you showing me talents? Hold on. Do I need to be standing for this? I don't know why it's not showing me. Hold on. Is it this add-on? Hold on. Oh, okay. It was the Fishing Buddy add-on. I don't know why. Okay. All right, so you went for endurance training. Okay, that makes sense. Because you don't need the armor necessarily. Unleash Fury, Coordinated Assault, and then Bestial Discipline, and then 1 in Ferocity, and then you went much deeper. So yeah, so this is one where you lean more heavily onto the survival rather than the Beast Mastery. This I could see as the other side of the coin. Because this talent is very good. This is a very good talent. Hold on. I like this take on and move the frame up. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I would maybe skip improved slaying. Oh, wait, no, you can't, because it was 5 here, and then it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. You could have maybe skipped some of this. I just don't know what you would get otherwise. More in Ferocity, maybe. But the flat damage bonus here from improved slaying is just good for certain raids. For other ones, it's not as big of an impact. Yeah. I like actually fighting with my bear friends. I mean, that could work. I think that would probably even do more damage. It's hard to say, honestly. It was really fun though, because the micro that I was doing was I noticed bears have up to 4 abilities it can do. It's bite, claw, the growl, the one that lets them taunt or baby taunt, and roar of fortitude. And so bite is way more efficient with focus, but it has a 6-second cooldown. And claw isn't as effective with focus, but it's an ability. So I would leave bite on automatically whenever it came off cooldown, and then I would manually hit claw to dump focus when I needed to, and I would do that through the whole raid just to see if I could like eke out a little bit better. And of course, roar of fortitude is like 50 focus, but it's on a 2-minute cooldown. Roar of fortitude is really good too, by the way. I think it's actually so. If you've played right survival, you're used to, hearing melee grumble maybe that you're not bringing anything to the table. Even a warrior can do battle shout. Most hunters, most melee hunters, they don't have like an aura you're giving everyone else. So you know, sometimes that, you know, because the melee druids are bringing something. A range hunter brings something. What does a survival hunter bring? You see what I'm saying? Obviously, we all know shamans bring something to the table. So I thought it was a fair critique, right? I'm like, yeah, okay, fair enough. So if you go into Beast Mastery deep enough, you can get a talent that actually shortens a cooldown on like some of your abilities. And one of those is Roar of Fortitude. Wasn't the Wolf's Roar much better for Melee Hunter? Yeah, but Rexana doesn't have a wolf. Raukangren, how do you not know this? Grokkar is trying to scare away all the... trying to scare away all the fish. I wonder if that would actually like somehow like make you have better fish. That'd be so cool. I caught nothing. What the heck? That's not right. I don't know what does the wolf one do? Like Ferocious Howl? I think it gives them haste, like melee haste maybe. What does the wolf howl do? Yeah, traps are kind of... Onega says it's the bird for a haste. You could be right. Again, I've only used bears, guys. I did look up what the other pets that Rexar has had in the past are, and I was thinking about maybe getting a different type of pet. Just thinking, though. They howl. Party members within 4 yards receive additional 45 to 57 damage to their next physical attack, and the extra damage scales with AP. Oh, that's not bad. So the Roar of Fortitude gives 8% damage mitigation to everyone in the group, and 3% additional damage. I feel like that's good. Yes, Bowie. Turtle Wow open water fishing has been bugged. Sometimes the bugs work in your favor, though. Wolves are strong if you believe. They probably do more damage than a bear too. I think that part's true. Fun little fact about that. So another reason I decided to get a Mikhail rather than continue on with Misha. So I was looking for which bear I would need to capture to learn Ferocious Roar of Fortitude. So here's something interesting about that. I looked on the list of all the different bears, and almost all of them have an attack speed of 2. Right? There's something like, I don't know, like 20 or 30 different bears you can have as a pet. There are I think 3 or 4 of them that have a slower attack speed. And that was the type Misha was. It's a 2.5 attack speed. Damn. Well, that's tough. So that happened as well. I mean, when I went to go capture Misha, initially it was just like, I want bear. I wasn't looking at numbers. So that was another reason to have Mikhail, not just the level difference. Oh, really, Judging? I'm sorry, I just caught that. Turtlewell needs to reverse the fix to Warrior's Master Strike Mace spec. Used to not cancel disorient on damage. Nice 3 seconds stun, gone. So, so they made it into a disorient rather than a stun? Because disorients can be broken with damage, whereas stuns, you can still get slapped while you're stunned. I would never bring Misha to the pound. You're a monster, Bowie. Never. Is Screech still bugged to not stack with Demo Shout? I'd want an Amani Owl, but... You're asking the wrong person. I mean, maybe. I don't know. If it is, that's kind of a bummer. I could have sworn, like, Eagles had something else, though, that was good. Wish Foxes still had Furious Howl? Yeah, because they put them in the Wolf group for a while, didn't they? Did they give them something else, Lura Fox? Listen, you guys know I know not much. I only know what Rexana knows about hunters, which, as you guys saw, was not that much. Have you been inside the tunnel up there before? Oh, let me... Point. That one. It was always... oh, I see. Yeah, that is kind of... So it always was a disorient, but it would be the kind of disorient that would make you stop attacking. I see what you're saying. I can't recall. We're gonna go check out this cave. This is part of the new, like, teaser expansion area to the area. Maw of Ursoc. Now, let's see, what zone does it say I'm in? Yep, I'm in the Maw of Ursoc. That is the name. Oh, maybe I have been here. Yeah. I think I have, because I remember I talked to this guy. Well, let me get my unequip my rod. Yeah, could you imagine if something like a rogue's gouge didn't stop you from auto-attacking? It would be next to useless. I'll take a look around again. It's okay, Grokar. While I open up all these clams. No gold pearls. A food and drink vendor. Oh, perfect timing. Here, have some of my useless fish. Oh, jeez. I have a bunch of boxes open. Hold on, what did I get? Okay. Oh, that's a dream dust. And vision dust can go away. Bonus leather. I'll keep the cloth because I do have a tailor I'm working on. It was like patch because it would disorient but wouldn't cancel disorient after damaging You could wail on mobs and PvP they'd be fully disoriented, stunned. Oh, interesting. I mean, I've never fully played a warrior, so I do know Murrog's played has played around with warrior a little bit, and while leveling up, she's really enjoyed Master Strike. Oh, I can make this in my home? Wow. I guess I forgot that. I'm imagining a world where a gouge didn't cancel after you used it, and that, I mean, again, I don't do much PvP, but even I know gouge is like an essential part of like PvP rotations and like what you might do in any given situation. Like even doing PvE, like if you suddenly like another guy gets pulled, you can gouge him to try to finish off a guy, or give you enough time to like start running away. It is very pretty up here. Oh yeah, Bob, I might have been on I might have been on a dev branch of that, because back when I was in Class Council 2, I got like some weird access to stuff like they can design stuff off of. So I'm gonna calculate. Oh, I just go to calculator. No. Is it really reversed? Because I actually thought this wasn't as far deep down as it normally was. I could probably tell if I look at Mage right away. This looks accurate for Mage. Well, you can, I don't know, you guys probably can't see, but right up in the corner it says that I'm signed in as Vrograg, so I know we did talent stuff for Class Council, so I still have that token in there, so that might be why it might look different. I'm not honestly sure. You know, judging, speaking of that, there was a changelog they had recently where, for a long time, a surprisingly long time, fire mages in PvP, if they used grenades and they had ignite, the ignite would interrupt the stun from a grenade. You're not alone in the weird CC things interacting. And I mean that in both sense, Class Council and crowd control. It was bugged to be a gouge that would never break on damage. Yeah, that is very strong. Then it's just, okay, so if it's a gouge that doesn't break on damage, then it's a stun. Because I understand that the delineation between disorient and stun is that disorient can be interrupted with damage, and stun is not interrupted with damage. Just, I think, generally speaking. So, like, as a rogue, if I do kidney shot and they're stunned, I can still hit them. But if I do blind, they're disoriented, and if I hit them, it interrupts blind. Oh, they have... Oh, they give a... Well, hold on. Lurifox, you say it only gives dodge chance, but hear me out. Rogue tanking. I would appreciate it when I'm doing rogue tanking. Give me some of that sweet, sweet dodge. Where's my fishing rod? Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. I mean, the thing is that any class that gets any kind of stun is a big deal. Just full stop. And it does drastically change how things happen in PvP. I know sometimes people from Telebim or some Battleground junkies will drop into chat and have a lot to say about PvP. I don't know, but I do know that any kind of CC always changes the metrics somehow. You guys think I'm going to make a lot of money off these fish? Oh man, guys, I'm 6 short of 100. You know what that means? When I get 100 stone scale, I'm ending stream. $100G in the bank, easy. I mean, pretty much. I think I could get a bigger share if I do stone scale, but maybe not. I'd have to put in more money. I'd have to break down the numbers. WoW Auction, actually, I think WoW Auctions does that for you. Hold on. I think it does. All right, hold on. Gotta make sure I can still fish. Okay, so if we do stone scale eel. Okay, yeah. So that price is about right. And if I do stone scale oil. Hold on. Here's the breakdown. Okay, so I would get, because a leaded vial costs 40 copper, I would make 9 silver additional on it. It seems like a lot for a little. So maybe. But it's a bit much. Oh, Placebo, you got your 3.5 shoulders? Grats, dude. That's awesome. Oh, yeah, Lurifox. You can... winter squid are in season. As you can see here, I've caught 14 on stream today. Where to go? Man, the thing is that the old fishing tables of Classic WoW and Vanilla WoW are kind of not super applicable on Turtle WoW because so much has changed. High-level fishing areas is what I would say. You want to go open water. By that, what you would consider an ocean. Unless it's Hydral or right here. I think they only appear in the seas. So, higher level areas that are oceans is your best bet. Yep, Beta Storm. See, that would count. And I want to say, speaking of, no, not that one. Take a look at squid, winter squid. Looks like they are going for. It's got 2 stone scale. About 70 silver. That's pretty good for them. You have to remember they are competing with is it sour mountain berries? Oh, sorry. They I don't think WoW Auctions has it edited yet. I think that's the stamina one. Try this one. It may not have the right data then. I'm actually not sure now. Unfortunately, oh, yeah, I know how to check. I know how to check. Hold on. So if I go up in the top, 51711. So mountain berry. So Sour Mountain Berry is the agility one, and it's 51711. And that is the answer. Wait, where did it go? Alright, so the correct berry is this one, because this item entry ends in 711. So yeah, they're, I mean, they're pretty cheap. So, you know, if you want to save some shekels while you're doing fishing, or sorry, if you need agility, go the berry route. They seem to be cheaper than grilled squid. If you are doing grilled squid fishing, you'll probably make a mint off people who don't know the berries exist. Rodfather, hello! I hope you got my messages, friend, and the good news that it bears. I know I pinged you in Hard Chores Discord, and I'm pretty sure I sent you a message. And if you didn't see, and you're on Rodfather, might I suggest looking at your titles? Player assez pas Vrograg du Ogsa. Let's see. Who said that? Grokar spoke in a different language to me that wasn't even Orcish. Justem Diggerhan. Hold on, wait. I'll say, yeah. And if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about with Rodfather, the measure should have went through. As you can see here, I no longer have the Fishslayer title. It now should be on Rodfather. I had bugged enough people to get it done. Hans provide a Snak Norsk. Oh no, I know. They're using, this might be some kind of Norse language, guys. I don't know. Ha Serpa. Yeah. Oh, they corrected me. We're talking Norwegian. Close enough to Orcish, I guess. Oh yeah, I think I had the picture up. Where is it? Was it in this one? I think it was. Yeah, here it is. That's right. Rodfather is now officially the Fishslayer. And again, the GM tag is just there because a GM needed to facilitate it. He won't always have GM. It was just a GM that had to possess his character to make that happen. Grokar says free Shagu, and you're damn right. I believe, I don't know how much I could talk about the case. I have reason to believe that he may soon be, or that there are measures being taken place that may remove him from the lawsuit. Vrograg, have you tested how far your character can hear those slash bubbles. Not really. I think you only see them if they render for your chat. If Blizzard comes for our Vrograg, they can go where the pepper grows. In like more acidic, slightly sandy soil. Because that's where it grows. Oh wait, did I get my 100th? Oh, I'm so close. Rodfather would be so proud of me. I almost caught 100 stone scale eel todays. Rodfather, please give me your blessing. Nova says, when in doubt, don't talk about it. Yeah, that's true. Nova, you have to know this about me. It is so tough for me to not talk about stuff. But you're absolutely right. Like, I don't know for sure any of that stuff. I just, like, I know that, oh yeah, I guess there's a chance anything could happen. I know there's a chance that his name will be taken off the lawsuit formally. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think there is a chance it could happen. You're a high-quality yapper, that's why I tune in. Hey, listen, God gave me one gift. It wasn't height. It wasn't looks. It wasn't even a good voice. I still think I sound like a raspy lesbian in my head, but I can yap. I can definitely talk. Oh, I only need 2 more stone scale, and I'll get my 100. Come on. 100G. And that'll put a dent in the cost of my consumables for this week when I do Kara 40 later today, featuring Obamsawin. Guys, I really don't like Fire Shaman. Like, it does big number, but it doesn't feel good. And then I have people saying I have no integrity because I still do Fire Shaman to do big number. But if you've played Elemental Shaman for as long as I have, you've always felt like you're under the gun, like you're a waste of a raid spot, you know? Like you're not giving everything you can to your group because you're not melee and you're not resto. And that hurts. You know, you're dealing with years of inferiority. And then it's your chance to shine in the sun, and then you get it through cheese, and it just doesn't feel good. Nova, listen, if you like Fire Shaman and you're having a good time with it, more power to you. But I'm telling you, man, I was in the trenches before any of the class changes. Like almost all the time in raid, doing numbers, having threat that just meant that, well, if I crit with this chain lightning, I will die. Or I can't do a chain lightning on pull unless I have a lip off of cooldown. And then even then on bosses, my damage would be like, okay, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I dealt with that for years. You get improved totems? Why would you get improved totems? Oh, you can get improved totems with that build, actually. You can change a couple things to get it. It's true. What I like about it is that you can get all the mitigation talents, so you'll live stuff other people don't live, especially other casters. At least enhancement had the spell damage axe to swing. Yeah. Oh, they're dueling over there. I think someone's dueling. Nightfall, yep. That one. It's true. Man, I got more of these. Ugh. I'm suffering from success, guys. What am I going to do? More fire, I guess? Slow news for you, Vrograg. Shamans are a support class, and they should not top damage meters. I know, Rao Kangren. That's why I'm uncomfortable. Like, okay. Yes. Okay. I have a number of things to say about that. So first, if you go elemental, you are sacrificing some of your utility in order to do that. And so I feel like generally that should, not 1-to-1, right? That should net you more damage, right? But yes, you are right. It is a support class, and it shouldn't be topping damage meters. Rogues should be topping damage meters because they're not a support class. If you call IEA one ability that's marginally better than Sunder a thing that makes you a support class, you're wrong. I will say that. And I like where elemental shamans are outside of fire because I like the new earthquake thing they have. If it was just nature damage, I'd be fine where shamans are. What about hunters? We have an aura for 4 other people. Well, hunters, okay, so when we're talking utility, we also need to talk about out of combat and other utility, right? Hunters can pull. Hunters can do kites. Hunters can also scout. This is actually something that matters. And with the metrics of the game, it matters as well. Rogues can scout as well. They're not as good as hunters because hunters can just put a flat movement speed on them and they can track mobs. But rogues can do it to a certain extent. Slips. Okay, hold on. Slips. Hold on. They need to add tier sets for off-meta build. No. They need to add alternate tier sets for hunters and rogues because they don't have any. That's what they need to do. They don't need to help these off-meta builds for classes that already have alternate tier sets. Get your opinion as an Iron Man shaman. What do you think about 2-hand versus 1-hand shield since my only stat is armor? I don't know what Iron Man shaman means. But if you're trying to go maximum armor, you need a shield. Why not both? Slips? Okay, it can be both, but I'm going to tell you which one of those needs to come first. Probably 2 of the 9 classes that haven't had any alternate tier sets. They're the ones that come first. Because they've been waiting. And even in that, I would still order hunters as a higher priority than rogues. Because hunters actually have 2 vastly different playstyles, whereas rogues kind of have one. How they do it is a little different, but like, there's definitely different playstyles for hunters. In the new raid, make the tiers off meta ones. Yeah, I could see it. Give a spell hunter placebo. Listen, I love you, man. I know you want spell power hunters. You probably want spell power rogues. But as long as the shadow of spell ret with weapon procs haunts us, it's always going to be far away. You don't want it? Okay, there's always. I thought there was something you're always in here on about. I thought that was it. No. Just do it and deal with your subpar raid damage. Now, see, placebo. That is the correct answer. Yeah, maybe Rexana isn't going to Nax or Kara 40, but you know what I do get to do with Rexana? I get to try out builds that I think are fun, experiment with them, and go to raid. And I think that's a huge win. And it is a weird thing for me to talk about Elemental Shaman and be like, I don't like it because it's too strong. But even within that, it's a very gimmicky and boring rotation even. Because you put Flame Tongue on your weapon after you get Elemental Weapons in Enhancement. You pop Natural Alignment Crystal and you pop Elemental Mastery to get your scaling up as high as possible. Also try to get champion buff if you can. And then you do 1 Flame Shock, and then you do Molten Blast until your 1 button wears out. Spell Enhance could be cool, but I think they have to do some stuff with it to make it a thing. You hope someone streams... Guys, I'm sorry. We caught our 100th Stone Scale Eel. I'm sorry. I said I'd end stream when I got my 100th. There it is. Moneybag Vrogrags. Not even 300. Listen, I'm not Rodfather. I am not the god of fishing. This is why I don't have the Fishslayer title. Fish the Fraudulent. I want you to know that it is asking me if GZ, which is short for Grats, is allowed in my chat. I've allowed it. Just, you know what? Sometimes Twitch, you're weird. Oh, the Vagrant Challenge, Bob. I mean, you're not penalized by dying, are you? I don't know. Novarix looking forward to some Priest love. Priests are, they're doing okay. I mean, they could always use more. Every class could use more, but... Healing wise, not really. Novarix, the way that I look at Priest and Warriors is similar in that Warriors, tanking wise, are sort of in a weird spot where they're not like the best at anything, but they're good at everything. The same thing can be said for Priests as far as healing. They're not the best at anything, but they're good at everything. And I think those are actually very valuable skills to have. So yeah, if your aim is to like top meters in one specific area, then yeah, maybe not. But flexibility is its own thing as well. And I'm assuming you're talking, Nova, about healing priests, not DPS. That's a whole different ball of wax. Waiting for the marksman hunter fix because it's such a dead spec. Is it? You guys, listen, we can't fall into the same trap as the old days when Blizzard used to do this. We can't just call stuff dead. We need to enjoy the game for what it is, recognize that the team probably knows and has already heard many of these complaints, and just has their own time scale on when they're going to fix it. I mean, how long did I play an Elemental Shaman before Bombsman got to pop off, right? It just happens. You're not in control of it. What is important to me is that I enjoy playing my Shaman. I enjoy playing Rogue. I enjoy playing my Mage, and I enjoy sometimes playing my Hunter. Not topping meters equals dead spec. Exactly, Slips. You can't have that mentality. And by the way, the only class that I think should genuinely always be topping has been Rogue, because they don't have any utility or anything else they bring to, like, that class specifically, Rogues specifically, if they don't bring big damage number, what do they bring? You see what I'm saying? And even then, people still play Rogue because, guys, I hate to break it to you, Rogue's like the most fun class to play. It is a fun class to play. You can stealth, you can pickpocket people, you can go to all sorts of places you're not supposed to go to. You have a base movement speed buff now. You can use axes. I love Rogue. Rogue's great. And yeah, I was always bummed when, like, back in the early days when I was raiding with Vrograg, I wouldn't top damage meters because there was always warriors, right? And that's okay. And now Rogues can definitely do it. You can be the most annoying little shit, use 90% of loot. Yeah, you could do that as well. Rogues are dominating meters. Yeah. And guess what? They deserve it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Their class was built from the ground up to be topping meters. They were. They have multiple ways of dropping threat. They have no armor. They're meant to be your melee glass cannon. They were built to be that. And the thing is, if you just stack a bunch of rogues, it's not going to work because there's no meat in the seats. The game was designed for this. No, Vrix, I want to be clear. In the past, rogues were not. They were far from that because they had no way to scale up. now that they are, and they've redesigned things, I think it makes sense. I think, that being said, if we're just talking more fairly, right, this thing needs to be fixed. Where is it? It's in my bags. This poison needs to be fixed. It's way too strong. All the damage on it cuts right through armor. And this is a big reason of why rogues are topping damage meters. This is a big part of it. And that's okay. Because the fact of the matter is, most players who were like rating 60 as a rogue when the times weren't good, they were the only ones who really benefited from that class change. And by the time the people who rushed and made a rogue in time to enjoy the end of, whatever this is happening when the next patch comes out, stuff could change and the rogues could just not be as strong anymore. Exactly, Nova. Yeah, I think they should be on top, but the gap should be less. I think that's completely fair. There's a couple things that need to be changed. But some of the things that were really hard to account for is how strong this is. The fact that Blade Flurry is now a toggle, that's a huge difference in damage. You also have the Shadow of Death abilities, huge deal. That can be really good for subtlety. Some of the scaling with Noxious Assault and some of the poisons, as I was mentioning before, can make a big difference. But hey, you know what I do like? Is that we're all having fun and playing the game. Would you like to be able to buy poison stuff from the bot? Yeah, I have been singing that song for a while. If anyone doesn't know, there is no poison vendor bot. There's an ammunition vendor you can get from the store. But you can't. Now, there's a number of reasons why Placebo might not have done it. To do poisons, you also need vials, so that means every alchemist would want one. I don't know. Does Turtle not want money? But either way, it would be nice as a rogue to be able to get that. That bot, exactly. The bot sells everything but poisons. And remember, they also don't sell vials, which is a big deal too. You need vials for all the poisons. Just make poisons available in alchemy? No. I like things that make rogues special. I have a special crafting called poison making. I have a special crafting that really needs love called disguise. It's part of what fits the fantasy of rogues. They're clever. They're too clever. It's part of the lineage from D&D. Rogues being able to tinker with stuff and make poisons and know how to disguise themselves and being able to pick pockets and sneak around. It's a vibe. Oh yeah, I don't know why they don't have a poison vendor bot. They should. Because I'll show you something else I have. Where is he? I have this guy. He sells ammunition. By the way, if you ever get him and you're like a hunter, just so you know, he also sells reagents. So he's like an ammunition and he's just a vendor though. He doesn't repair. So do be aware of that. But, so ammunition and reagents, not just ammunition for this particular NPC thing you can get from the donation shop. I think Hunter figured out how to disguise the best in WoW. Yeah. Oh no, I caught more. I caught another one. Dang. It's so hard to be so rich, guys. All right. I've been streaming for a while. I've been yapping for a while. And you know, we got some good fishing done here. I'm going to take a look at the final count. 43 firefin, 1 nightfin, 15 winter squid, 101 stone scale, 9 oily blackmouth, 95 dark claw lobsters, plenty of zesty clam meat, a bunch of other random odds and ends, 5 essence of water, and 5 elemental water. That's a pretty good haul. Although I think it was like a little bit over 3 hours, so I mean that's not like your best goal per hour, but it's decent. So I want to thank everyone for dropping by. Thanks for listening to me app. Thanks for being supportive too, in light of me getting Google giving Blizzard my real name and all that. Shout outs to Rodfather. I hope you enjoy the title, friend. It's been great getting to know you and celebrating you within the community. Murag's not here, but if she's watching, thanks. So, until next time, take care of yourself, take care of one another. Keep in mind when you're playing games, the object is to have fun, so make sure you're doing that. And, as always, remember, the deadliest weapon is knowledge. Bye, guys.